Damage there. Joe Ripley is live in Heard County. Joe, even though it's dark, you've been able to give us a pretty good idea of what it looks like out there.
Yeah, it is quiet here in Heard County. No injuries reported, I should note as well, thankfully. But emergency officials hope that it stays quiet because it could protect you as well as their crews working to clean up scenes like this here on Newnan Street, here in Franklin, in Heard County. Trees, power lines in the middle of the road, making streets impassable. You've got parts of roofs and carports scattered across homes and yards. It is a mess out here. You can see the snapped power poles, snapped trees as well, lining the streets. Trees and chunks of dense metal also just lying in the street. Planks of wood with nails in them. It is a dangerous sight out here. So emergency crews say if you can stay home to do so because it will keep you safe.
Already have too many reports than they can handle right now. They don't need injury reports as well. Thank you, Joe. All right, Chesley, over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. 6:18 is the current time, and we still have some thunderstorms that we're dealing with in our forecast area. So be careful as you're going out, of course, because of the damage and because there could be some pounding on the roadways from these heavy downpours coming down. Look at this, very heavy rain affiliated with this cluster of thunderstorms that's moving further out of our viewing area, moving into South Carolina. You still have some moderate to heavy rain back through Elder. Going down through Covington. Got a nice little cluster of thunderstorms. Get out of the way here. You see this cluster of thunderstorms here. This is in the far northwestern corner of Spalding County near Griffin. You can see the numerous lightning strikes associated with it. This is not a severe thunderstorm, but it is producing a lot of lightning as it heads further off to the north. We'll be moving into southern portions of Henry County probably within the next, I'd say, 10 minutes or so, and then back further down to the west. We're seeing just south of Hogansville another area of scattered thunderstorms. I mean, numerous thunderstorms. You see all the lightning strikes associated with that as that continues to head further into northern Meriwether County, or we'll pass northern Meriwether County and continue further off to the north, maybe even clip southern portions of Coweta County as well. And so this is really it for us. This is all making its way slowly down to the south, and we'll be moving out, but you can see even more back off to the west over toward Alabama that will continue to push right on through. So that's why we talk about training or thunderstorms or heavy rain moving in the same area over and over again, which will lead to some flooding on some of the roadways out there. Numerous reports, not only flooding, but also hail reports. We had wind damage reports and also tornado reports in the area, one of the strongest down here over toward Newnan County and also into parts of Heard County. That's where we found Joe Ripley over here toward Franklin. Had reports of this tornado here with structural damage. That one that was in Coweta County as well. Numerous trees down, structural damage there, even over toward Peachtree City as well. And so we'll continue to find out more and probably even more damage in some other areas as well, as we had widespread thunderstorms pushing through our forecast area. Got a front that's going to continue to head down to the south. Now behind this front, the threat goes away. Ahead of the front is where we're going to find that severe weather threat, and it will be in the central and southern portions of the state for today. Notice it's a level 1, a marginal risk for severe weather. That light green shade over us just means a 0 threat, and we had that threat for this morning, but by this afternoon it's over. Now tomorrow, this is Saturday, notice the threat pops up again. This is an enhanced risk, level 3 over the Memphis area. In our area, level 1. It's a marginal threat for severe weather for the northwestern corner, but notice what happens as we move into Sunday. That slight risk moves over much of North Georgia. From Atlanta northward, we'll have that slight risk for severe weather, so that means another round of thunderstorms coming through as we head into the weekend. Let's time it all out for you real quick. Here it is. Our forecast track model shows the rain that we have out there right now, singing further down to the south. Clouds hang on at least through this afternoon before they begin to thin out. I think before the sun sets, we'll see a little bit of it, more so in our northernmost counties, but even here in the metro area. But overnight, those clouds come right back to us. We'll have scattered showers around on Saturday morning. I think they'll last through Saturday afternoon. Then it clears out, and then Sunday morning is when we'll see that round of showers and thunderstorms move through the forecast area. By the afternoon, they'll gradually begin to clear out. We may get some sunshine back in here as we head into Monday, the start of the work week. All right, let's go over to Crash Clark with a check on the roads out there.
All right, my friend, a lot of flashing lights for folks traveling around Covington. This one just coming into the traffic center. Multiple lanes are going to be impacted on I-20. This is going to be eastbound. So if you're heading into, say you're going from Conyers into Covington, that's where this one's going to get you on I-20 eastbound right before you get to 278. Kind of splits off there in Covington. Got a couple of ways to get around this, Brown Bridge Road or Highway 81. Couple of good alternates to get into Covington. Now, as far as the East Expressway inbound is concerned, not not bad from 138 to the perimeter. Condition green out of Conyers. West Expressway equally as nice for folks in from Douglasville, Temple, and Villa Rica. Of course, with all this storm damage that we continue to monitor, the biggest problems, just avoid any unnecessary travel, especially through the neighborhoods. If you do come across one of those dark intersections because of the power outages, treat it as a four-way stop and basically wait until sunrise. That way you're able to see some of that damage. And believe me, there is plenty of it, and we'll continue our coverage when we come right back.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Welcome back. Our neighbors to the west taking a severe hit from these storms just hours before we did. At least 5 people are dead following a string of possible tornadoes. Some of those twisters caught on video. Some homes are completely destroyed, roofs ripped off of others. The worst of the damage is in Calhoun County, not far from the state line. Crews are working to rescue people still trapped inside their homes. The strong winds bending and snapping trees and knocking out power to thousands of households. We are continuing to follow severe weather in parts of the metro this morning. Several of you sending in your photos and videos as the storm moved through overnight. A restless night for so many people, we know. Liza Lucas has a wrap up of the damage we are seeing all over the metro.
Good morning, Chrissy. Yes, I actually just saw a post from Nancy in West Cobb. Lightning hit her house. Good news. She said no signs of fires, but she was one of many that was up all night as we saw these storms just rip through the metro area. We want to give you a closer look at some of the lightning that some of you were talking about on our Storm Tracker page. We got this video in from Storm Tracker Crystalline Chantel. She sent us video from her home in Ball Ground in Cherokee County. And that was how it looked in my home in Fulton County as well. Just constant flashes of lightning. Another video, compilation video, really, of the powerful wind, rain, and hail. Many of you on our Storm Trackers page keeping us in the loop in the past 24 hours, sharing these images as the storms have just been sweeping through your area. Just look at that hail falling right there A lot of pictures have been coming in also overnight. Newnan utility crews hard at work again, advising everyone to stay off the roads. We're going to stay in touch with you behind the scenes. You can always text us 404-885-7600. Send us your pictures and videos if you're able to safely do so. Chesley.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Liza. Appreciate that. Okay, we have the rain around this morning that will be ending. Should be out of the way, but look at the weekend. We got more rain coming back to us on Saturday, 80 before the afternoon high. And then on Sunday, could be some strong to severe thunderstorms moving in as well. 73 for your forecast high. We're back right after this.
That's Why Guy and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you not.
Live from Atlanta, Morning Rush starts now.
And good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Sheepa Russell. We know it has been a sleepless night, a restless night for so many of you as severe weather moved in. We've got you covered this morning. Christy Diaz is in for Francesca. Crash Clark is tracking any trouble spots on the roads. Meteorologist Chesley McNeil with more on whether the severe weather threat is over. He'll join us in a few moments. But first, we want to show you some new images just into the 11 Alive newsroom of the damage from parts of the southeast, including Georgia. This is video out of Polk County. You can see trees have been uprooted in several places. We're hearing reports of multiple homes and buildings damaged after strong storms blew through the area. And these new images out of Newnan and Coweta County coming to us within the last hour. A possible tornado touching down here. Large trees uprooted near LaGrange Street, Boone Drive, and surrounding areas in the downtown district. In hard-hit Alabama, some devastating images. You can see the destruction left behind from that same storm system. At least 5 people are dead after multiple possible tornadoes touched down. Homes are shredded, trees are down, and debris is scattered across the area. Thousands are without power this morning. We have boots on the ground right now as our crews have been tracking down the damage left across those communities hit the hardest. We've been monitoring things all throughout the night and into the morning. Let's send things over to meteorologist Chesley McNeil now for a look at what's happening right now on the radar. So the current weather threat threat for tornadoes is over, Chesley?
Yeah, I think so, Sheba. It has been dropped. We had a tornado watch in our area, and that has been dropped so far this morning. It was set to last until 7 a.m., but you can see how the storms have begun to weaken just a bit. But we're also starting to see some of these thunderstorms begin to fire back up. Here's one over here toward, moving out of our forecast area, now moving into Calhoun Falls, which is over into South Carolina. So that's pushing away from us. But look at the numerous lightning strikes associated with that. Let's go a little bit further down here to the south. Heading into Henry County right now, southern Henry County. You can see northern parts of Butts County as well. Between Spalding, Henry, and Butts, we got some very heavy rain coming down, and also the numerous lightning strikes associated with it, even back toward Griffin. And then you catch a little bit of breakdown toward Concord. You move a little bit further down to the south, you find another round of very heavy rain. And this has been training coming out of Alabama, moving further off to the north, trooping Meriwether County, and then further up toward Henry County. And we'll see that heavy rain continuing as we head through this morning. It's in these areas here, even though we don't have any watches, warnings, or anything like that, you need to be on the lookout for some flooding. That's number one. Of course, the numerous lightning strikes can cause some problems for us as well. But with that very heavy rain coming down, certainly there's ponding on the road. So be careful if you're traveling in these areas. And it was in these same areas that we had reports of wind damage. We had hail damage and also a report of a tornado. You can see the numerous reports around our forecast area. Even over here into Polk County, reports of wind damage. Could be a tornado there. We'll get a later assessment of that. But then a very powerful, could be a very strong tornado that pushed through parts of Heard County into Coweta County and eventually up toward Fayette. But we got numerous reports of structures being damaged, of course, trees down. That's where we have a lot of our live reporters out this morning, so we'll get a check on them with what's being reported in these areas. Right now, let's get a check on the roadways out there with Crash Clark.
All right, my friend, obviously with all those surface streets being blocked off or heavily damaged because of debris down in Newnan, police are blocking off Highway 27, Highway 34, Highway 29, and over a dozen surface streets down in the Newnan area. This is a red alert right here for folks that are traveling out in Covington. We've got all lanes completely shut down. This is I-20 eastbound before you get to 278 right near Turner Lake. So you're going to need some alternates here. It's not just multiple lanes blocked. They're all blocked. Folks, Access Road, that's actually the name of it. Access Road is south of I-20. Old Atlanta Highway runs north. You might even want to get off earlier than that. Almond Road will take you to Brown Bridge Road as an alternate. New trouble for folks in Cobb. Tractor trailer wreck 285 westbound on the ramp to 75 northbound. A left lane is blocked, but the good news, that ramp is passable. Christy, over to you.
Breaking overnight, heavy hitting storms swept across Georgia, leaving behind destruction from downed trees to power lines. At times, there were reports of tornadoes. Right now, some areas remain at risk for more severe weather. We're tracking that too. Several schools have either canceled classes for today or either have students on a delay as a result of these storms. Many people without power this morning. We have all of those scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now. Mara Sirianni is live for us right in the middle of one of the hardest hit areas in Newnan. Mara, what are you seeing?
That's right, Christy. I am standing right here in historic downtown Newnan. We've been here since about 3:30 this morning, and so have these guys, these police crews behind me here. They've been blocking off the road, just about every main road in downtown Newnan. We just saw a dump truck go by, likely to load it up with debris that crews are gathering up from the roadways here. They're trying to clear things, but it's been tough really for them while it's still dark out to see where they're going and to see what's in front of them, because we know it's been kind of dicey out here, dangerous as far as trees down in the roadways and power lines down in the roadways. And I actually want to show you some pictures now, images from Newnan Utilities. So LaGrange Street, Boone Drive, First Avenue, those areas they say really were hardest hit. And that's what you see here, some more downed trees, damage to homes in that area, kind of near the high school. Now also I'm told that crews were working in the area of Highway 29 and Grayson Trail Road. I'm not sure if that area is still shut down this morning, but if you are in the Newnan area, if you plan to make your way out and about a little bit later this morning, those are some of the areas, some of the streets I just named that you definitely need to use caution on. The good news for now, I'm told that no injuries were reported, but let's send it over to Hope Ford because she is also in the Newnan area tracking damage this morning. Hope.
That's right, and it's really hard to miss the massive tree that is behind me. We're actually maybe a couple of blocks away from Ruth Hill Elementary School, and this tree is blocking the roadway here, and this is really what we've been seeing anytime we've driven up any of these side roads over the last couple of hours. There's massive trees either on people's homes, in yards, half of trees hanging off, power lines hanging off as well. You can definitely see this tree here whenever you're driving up on it. What you can't see is the power line that is down on the ground, kind of wrapping around in front of the road here. And what is particularly lucky is that this tree fell this way, that it fell into the road, because had it had fallen the other way, it would have fallen into this yard, possibly on this house. Now, what is in the yard of this home right here, right now, is that power line. We can see it slinking into the yard right there. So that's something really to remember whenever, if you're going out into your yard, or, kind of wait until morning so that you can see better, because there may be power lines that are down in your yard, and you definitely do not want to step on any of those. And on the trees that we're seeing signs and garbage cans, all kinds of things that if it could have been picked up and thrown by the wind last night, it definitely was thrown around. So we've been driving around a lot of those things as well. So it's very important to make sure that you're waiting till daytime if you are going to walk outside, and try to stay off the road so that everyone can work and get these roads cleared off. Christy?
Yeah, thank you for that look. Hope, I know it's been a long night for you too. Thanks for being out there to show us the damage. The Coweta County Sheriff's Office Facebook page also asking to stay off the road so emergency vehicles can get through. People living in the city of Franklin, Heard County, also waking up to a lot of damage this morning. A possible tornado touching down there. That's where we find Joe Ripley live this morning. Joe, looks like you found another tree down. What are you seeing?
That's right. We're on the intersection of Maple and College Streets here in Franklin. And while no injuries have been reported due to the severe weather, crews certainly do have their work cut out for them. As you can see, this massive tree lying in the middle of the road here. And just beyond that, maybe 10, 20 yards or so, yet another tree. This is a scene we repeatedly keep seeing across Franklin, across Heard County, as we hear reports of storm damage here. In fact, Heard County schools are closed today because of the severe weather. You can see debris scattered in the road as well. We've also heard of 2 manufacturing plants damaged by wind and other structural damage as well. So a lot to clean up here in Heard County. Again, fortunately, no injuries reported. That is certainly some good news. But as you can maybe hear in the background, we hear utility trucks, other power and emergency crews getting out onto the streets, seeing what they can find and clean up. Again, you've heard it repeatedly all morning long as well. It will take until daylight to fully know the extent of the damage, and then cleanup can progress from there. Chesley.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Really appreciate that. We are watching as the storms continue to push a little bit further down to the south of us and getting out of the way. That's the good news. That will continue to be the case for this morning and into this afternoon. The severe weather threat will shift a little bit further down to the south. That's the good news for us. It gets a little bit further out of the way. We'll get some drier air working in briefly before more storms come back to us by tomorrow. So we're looking at Saturday, even into Sunday, with another system coming in. We could see more strong to severe thunderstorms on Sunday. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center has us under a slight risk for severe weather. That's mainly Atlanta northward. So we'll watch that on Sunday. But for now, at least the storms are going away. Christy, back over to you.
All right, Chesley, thank you. Let's go back out to meteorologist Melissa Nord. She is in Newnan, also getting a good idea of the damage down there. Melissa, I know it's dark, but what are you seeing right now? It looks like a pretty huge tree behind you came down. Well, we will get back to Melissa in just a moment, just as soon as we can. It looks like her shot froze, so Crash, why don't you take it from here?
All right, we'll do, Christy, and we're taking a live look from the Sky Tracker showing our wreck out in Covington, blocking multiple, if not all, lanes on I-20. This is eastbound, heading from Conyers into Covington, right before you get to 278 Turner Lake. Watch out for that. It's multiple lane blockages, and we're seeing some pretty heavy delays. A couple of ways to get into Covington. The access road, that's the actual name of it, Old Atlanta Highway or Almond Road, well before the wreck, over to Brown Bridge. This tractor trailer wreck blocking the left lane on the 285 westbound ramp to 75 north, getting into Cobb County. Bad news, you're back to Powers Ferry. The good news is the ramp is open, but obviously folks are taking that with a lot of caution. Brand new wreck just in on the east side, 285 northbound near Covington Highway. Left lane block. That'll start pushing traffic back towards I-20. Christy?
All right, and before we head to break at 6:41, let's take one more look at the power outage map. This is a situation where it looks like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Last check, we had about 13,000 people, households statewide. That number is now up to more than 14,000 households without power this morning. New information that I'm seeing on this power outage map, it looks like about 1,500 households in Henry County are without power. We're up to 3,000 households in Fulton County without power. And then, of course, Bartow, just under 3,000 households. Coweta, about 1,900. So if you're in the metro, you may be experiencing some power outages this morning, too. We'll keep an eye on these numbers, and hopefully they can get that power restored soon.
Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up.
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on.
Welcome back to Morning Rush with meteorologist Chesley McNeil, Francesca Amaker, Crash Clark, and Sheba Russell.
Welcome back, folks. As you're waking up this morning, you're probably thinking, man, okay, where are the thunderstorms? Well, they're pushing a little bit further down to the south. In fact, if you're over in Henry County right now, you are going through it, especially southeastern portions of Henry County, as we have numerous thunderstorms. Soon there's lightning strikes associated with the storms down there. That is pulling further off toward the north and east, so heading up toward the Athens area where you already had some rain move through. This is training in the area as the front continues to push down to the south, and so no doubt some flooding will be taking place down there. We've had numerous reports of wind damage, got hail damage, tornadoes in the area as well. So be careful, folks, as you're going out this morning, as we're still finding out areas that still need to be cleaned up. Christy, over to you.
Thank you, Chesley. New images and video have been rolling into the 11 Alive newsroom over the past several hours. As many of you experienced that storm, you're sharing your direct experiences with us and what you're waking up to and what you're seeing maybe in your front yards when that storm moved through the area. Liza Lucas joins us now with a closer look at the damage across the area. Liza, we're getting a lot of damage reports.
That's right, a lot of downed trees, a lot of people talking about what they've seen overnight. A lot of you very shaken, but the good news is those of I've spoken with on our Storm Tracker page and via text, you tell me you're doing okay, and we are so relieved to share that update this morning. This picture right here, a little hard to see, but this is a huge downed tree in Cartersville. Storm Tracker Brittany Dawson tells us that the tree fell in her sister-in-law's backyard. The good news, it did not fall towards the house, so we're relieved to share that this morning. We also want to share some videos out of Helen, Georgia. I was texting back and forth this morning with Cindy Bruce, who shared these pictures. Now she lives near the river, clearly dealing with a lot of flooding this morning in her area. area. The National Weather Service had issued a flood warning. Obviously, we're going to stay on top of that in the Helen area as well. And another group of videos that have been coming in, the pictures, Chip right there sending that one, Karen sending another one, our storm trackers, all of you have been keeping us so updated as these storms have just ripped through the metro area overnight. And we are continuing to stand by. We're here for you. Help us be your eyes and ears. You can text us those pictures and videos if it is safe to do so. 404-885-7600. We also want to bring to your attention a post that came in from Newnan Police. This image right here, you can see on my screen, this little pup, I've tweeted him out. He's also on the Morning Rush Facebook page this morning. He wandered up to a utility crew on Jackson Street, police say. They're in police hands now, but they are looking for the family this morning. So hopefully we can have a little reunion, a little bit of good news, Chesley, in light of all we're dealing with.
Oh, that poor dog. You could probably see him just walking up there slowly like, I don't know you guys, you don't know me, but could you help me, please? Very nice there, Eliza. Thank you so much. The rain continues to come down, folks, in our area. Although we don't have any watches or warnings, at least for severe thunderstorms or tornadoes, we do have some warnings on our area, creeks and streams into the far north west here. Well, that's really it. We have some numerous thunderstorms now pushing further into parts of South Carolina, and then still more back here down to the south of the city here. You can see just to the east of McDonough, over toward Locust Grove, numerous lightning strikes. You can see the very heavy rain associated with this as well. We're watching it to see if anything happens to turn severe, for it to become a severe thunderstorm, and those winds to get up to about 58, 60 miles per hour. We've seen that. With some of these thunderstorms in the area producing some wind damage, hail, we've seen that as well. And so we're going to continue to watch this, although it's not favorable for tornadic activity. We'll still need to watch it, folks, and it's causing some problems on the roadway. So if you're thinking about going out this morning, maybe you got to get to school or maybe you got to get to work, you definitely need to pay close attention to what's taking place on the radar right now in these areas where we have that heavy rain. Speaking of getting to school, notice on the bottom of the screen right there, we have the school closings and delays. You can get a complete list on our website, 11live.com, for that. All right, let's continue on here. Notice back off to the west how we have even more thunderstorms. They continue to train in this area. As the front continues to sag further down to the south, this line will shift a little bit further down to the south, and we may still see more of these thunderstorms. I think even with the daytime heating, we'll start to see it intensify a bit. So once you get a little past Thomaston there, some of these thunderstorms could erupt once again. Now the severe weather threat will be out of our area, more toward the central and southern portions of the state for today. Look at the numerous reports we've had. This is just a few. We've had way more than this, but I just want to show you some of the hail, wind, damage reports, and also the tornado reports as well. One of the most powerful ones, and we've been telling you this all morning long, have been down in the Coweta County area over toward Newnan, of course. Also back in Heard County, down toward the Franklin area. We believe this could have been a long track tornado. Very powerful, very massive. That's the way it looked on the radar last night. Came in just after 11 o'clock and then trailed right on up here toward the Peachtree City area by 1 o'clock before it began to dissipate. And so causing a lot of damage in this particular area here. And so we'll continue to watch that. As the sun continues to rise, we'll see more and more reports coming in, and we'll get those to you right away. Notice the front off to the north and west of us has cleared our northwestern counties, but will continue to sag down to the south as that high pressure continues to build in. And so, as I said before, the severe weather threat will be down to the south of us. But guess what? It comes back by tomorrow. You'll notice here in our northwestern counties, this is on Saturday, level 1. That's a marginal threat for severe weather. On Sunday, a slight risk for severe weather. You see at level 2 there from Atlanta northward. That's what we'll be expecting. I think it comes in early on Sunday. We'll be around at least through Sunday afternoon before it begins to subside, and we'll start off the work week next week with mostly sunny skies. Christy, over to you.
Chesley, thank you. Let's take another look at the power outages and the status of that right now. We're looking at the Georgia power map, and right now about statewide, about 14,300 households statewide are without power. Some of the main counties experiencing that. Henry County, about 1,500 households. Bartow County, about 2,900. Coweta, luckily your number is going down as crews are out there right now working to restore power, about 1,900. And then Fulton County, you're up to about 3,000 households without power this morning. Also, if you're in Gwinnett, DeKalb, Clayton, Cobb, Douglas, sporadic parts of across the metro experiencing power outages this morning. So now I'd like to bring in Allison with Georgia Power. She is on the phone with us this morning. Allison, good morning. Thanks for waking up early with us.
Good morning.
I imagine it's probably been a long night for you as well. Can you tell us about the widespread outages? Does this seem to be a pretty massive event since it's so spread out across the metro?
Well, it's springtime. We know that thunderstorms are common this time of year. We did see quite severe weather, overnight and last evening. So most of the widespread outages we're seeing are across the metro area, down near Newnan and, of course, North Georgia. Our crews are out in the field. They'll be out there this morning. They're going to work as quickly and safely as possible to assess damage and get everyone's power restored.
So it sounds like they are already out there on site right now. Are they down in Newnan, or can you tell us where crews are working right now?
Well, my crews are all over the state right now working. The rule is that they can't go out into the field to work until the storm is safely passed. So, of course, where there's severe weather south of the city right now, they can't be out in that. But once the storm has safely passed and the wind gusts have fallen to low 30 miles per hour, they can go up in their bucket trucks, start restoring lines. They can start assessing damage. So in areas where the storm has passed, they are out there.
Is it hard to do that in the middle of the night when it is so dark, and obviously power outages make it even darker? How are they able to work in the middle of the night?
Sure. So, as the sun comes up, more and more crews will be out. But, of course, they've got tools and they've got their trucks out there to help give them some light as they restore power this morning.
Allison, is this a situation where it's going to get worse before it gets better? I've been watching this power outage map throughout the morning, and since about an hour ago, we have about 1,300 more outages than we did, and the storm isn't here anymore. So do they have to maybe turn off some power before they can get it back on? How does that work?
Well, we are still seeing a line of storms going through south of the city down near McDonough right now. So that is contributing to some of the outages, of course. And then, of course, once that passes, the outage numbers could go up based on that weather. And then our crews will be able to get out there. But as they assess damage, that takes some time, especially with lots of down trees, down wires, snap poles. That requires some time to get that put in and assessed.
Right. And Allison, quickly, this is the one question everybody wants to know. Any idea when power will be back on?
Like I said, they're out there assessing damage. When you have damage that is trees down and poles snap, that takes a little bit of time. What we encourage our customers to do is to follow along at georgiapower.com/outage map, download the free mobile app, sign up for outage alerts, and just practice patience. We really appreciate all our customers. We know it was a rough night for so many, but our crews are out there in the field already. They're working as quickly and safely as possible, and they're going to get to your stores as quickly as they can.
All right. Allison, thanks so much. Safety to your crews, and thanks very much to them as they work hard. Crash, over to you for a look at the roads.
All right, Christine, with power outages come dark intersections. If you approach one of those, treat it like a four-way stop. Brand new trouble, a little blurry here, but the Sky Tracker showing you the flashing lights. This is a multi-car wreck on 285 northbound, right past Covington Highway. Look at that red stretching all the way back now beyond I-20. That'll have an impact on that East Expressway. Still dealing with a tractor-trailer wreck on the ramp 285 westbound, trying to get into 75 north and make your way up into Marietta, so delays coming from basically the river and Powers Ferry over to 75. Still dealing with the wreck out in Covington. This one's I-20 eastbound right near Turner Lake before you get to 278, couple of ways around it. The Access Road or Old Atlanta Road, even Almond Road to Brown Bridge will get you around it. A little bit of good news, downtown connector is pretty much a wide open ride.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alert. Still dealing with a line of thunderstorms, and these are packing quite some energy. You can see the numerous lightning strikes associated with it. It is fading to the south, so our area will continue to clear out. Now we'll have more wet weather coming to us over the weekend. Saturday, you got a 50% chance for the rain. A couple thunderstorms will be around early on Sunday as well. Some of those could be strong to severe.
You can keep sending us those photos and videos. Text them to the number on your screen, 404-885-7600. But of course, only do so safely. Our crews are still on the ground across Georgia, tracking the damage left behind from severe weather and reported tornadoes, trying to safely navigate around everything they see. And as the sun comes up, we're able to get a closer look. We have extended weather coverage over on WATL.
Changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us, talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Chesley McNeil, and welcome to our special coverage here on the ATL. And we're here to keep you updated on what's taking place throughout our forecast area. The weather is changing in a lot of spots, and even though we don't have any tornado watches anymore or any tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings, doesn't mean we don't have the thunderstorms out there creating quite a stir in a lot of spots. In fact, let's head right on down here to where we have the numerous lightning strikes associated with a few of these thunderstorms that are pushing through. Covington just moving into your particular area. You can see the lot of lightning strikes associated with this between Locust Grove and over toward Monticello. And then further down to the south over Spalding County, we have numerous lightning strikes as well. This right in between, or right, well, 75 is sandwiched in between the two, but it's headed in this direction. So if you're along I-75 or plan on getting on the highway anytime soon, know that there'll be some hefty thunderstorms coming your way with some heavy rain and probably some gusty winds associated with a few of these as well. Even back off to the south and west of us, we still have more of those thunderstorms training through the area. And I say training because they're moving over the same areas. And so you have a heavy batch of rain and then another heavy batch of rain. And what that does is causes ponding on the roadways, folks. So no doubt there's some flooding in this particular area. So we'll continue to watch out for that. Even further back off to the west into parts of Alabama, there are still more thunderstorms there that will be pushing through. Now this will slowly make its way, even though it's moving from the southwest up toward the northeast, it will slowly make its way further down to the south as a cold front that's up in the north continues to sag further down to the south. Now north of this line, for example, let's say back into Atlanta, Roswell, up toward Blue Ridge, the threat is over for you as far as rain or thunderstorms for this morning. More will return to us by tomorrow. Notice the numerous reports that we've had already throughout the area, and this is just a few really throughout the area. We're talking about hail reports, wind damage in some spots as well, had numerous lightning strikes, of course, so we had to be on the lookout for that. But one of the most powerful storms that we've seen in a very long time, we're talking about a tornado that could wind up being an EF3, EF4, maybe up to an EF5. It caused a lot of damage in parts of Heard County, over into Coweta County as well, headed over toward the Peachtree City area as well. It was this one here in Newnan that we were seeing a lot of damage from. Let's go over to Hope Ford, who is out in Newnan right now. She's seeing some extensive damage, and as the light or the sun starts to rise, I'm sure you'll be seeing more, Hope.
Oh yeah, what we've seen so far, I can't even fathom, because we're seeing all this in really pitch black outside, the lights from our cars, the lights from police cars that we see around here. So we're actually on First Street. We're a little bit south of City Hall right now. And again, same thing that we've been seeing really all night. We're seeing down trees. This particular area has a lot of power lines that are just hanging and that are on the ground. We actually had to back up a little bit because we realized that we were actually standing under one that was kind of low hanging right now. And there's power lines that are hanging across this home over here. There's power lines that are hanging to the left and the right of us, along with all of those trees down right there. So that's really, some of the dangerous things right there is we're starting to see more and more of this, with those power lines hanging down over people's homes, in their yards. So just a reminder for folks to be careful whenever they are walking around. We're also starting to see EMS driving around. They are driving around asking about down trees and down power lines as well, kind of helping assist with getting through that right now. The thing to kind of keep in mind here is that really we have not driven down a road or a side street that did not have down trees and down power lines. So it is going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience to remove everything, to get everything out of the roads, out of people's homes. So that's really going to be, who knows how long that's going to take out here in Newnan. But it is going to be an extensive project because we've just seen so much damage. And as the lights, sun starts to come up here in about 30-40 minutes, we're probably going to see a lot more of that. And it's actually kind of eerie because we're hearing the birds start to chirp behind us right now. So it's going to be a lot of work, and people out here in Newnan are definitely going to need a lot of help. And so we're going to obviously continue to stay out here and see what the damage looks like throughout the day.
All right, thanks a lot, Hope. Really appreciate it. Hope, real quick, I want to ask you a question. On that road that you're on right now, are there like cones set up where people can't get down that way? Or would you just happen to roll up on that?
We just happen to drive up on this, and that is an interesting point that you make. We haven't really seen cones anywhere. If a road has been blocked, it has been because of a tree or because of police. But other than that, we've run into so many roads where there's just so much damage on these roads that there really isn't anyone out there who may have found that yet to block it off. So that's really also something else to keep in mind here today.
All right, thanks a lot. Hope Ford out there in Newnan, and that's where we've been hearing about a lot of damage. In fact, we have one confirmed death there in Coweta County, one confirmed death that has been storm related. So again, reports continue to come in this morning, folks, and we'll continue to get those reports in as well. But meanwhile, we do have our crews out and about throughout that area. In fact, also down in Newnan is meteorologist Melissa Nord. And Melissa, you've been stumbling upon some very interesting pieces of debris.
Yeah, we've been stumbling upon interesting pieces of debris a little bit down the road. Now, to give you some perspective, Hope is near the high school. We are west of her in southwestern suburbs of Newnan area, and we're standing on Smoky Road. So we got Smoky Road Middle School very close to us right here. And where we were all morning long on 11 Alive was maybe 2 or 3 blocks down the road that way. And in that area, we had the road completely blocked off from a power line, a bunch of trees on the road. They asked us to move back about 30 minutes ago. Because they're trying to clean up the road. Now look behind me though. This is on the outskirts of where the tornado actually came through. So all the really significant destruction, that's about a quarter to half a mile down the road still. But here, even on the outskirts of the tornado, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 huge trees that were not just, snapped off at the tops. These things were brought up by the whole root system. The ground was soggy enough. The root system gave way by those very strong winds on the outskirts of the tornado. And also in between these two front trees. Jojo, can you zoom in and show them that little rectangular box? Does anyone want to just scratch your head, think what that is? That is the top of the chimney shaft from this house behind. It's still got the insulation in it and everything like that. So the winds just tore that off like it was a piece of Lego block that was just, knocked off by a 2-year-old toddler. So this is the outskirts. Now, sunrise this morning is about 7:30. So we're still about 30 minutes away from that. We're already starting to see the first kind of morning, very bit of, I wouldn't call it brightness, but the sky's starting to brighten just a little bit. So we will be able to drive and get a much better, much safer vantage point to see some of this damage as we get first light coming up here this morning. But again, this road is blocked off. That's why we've moved over here. But this is on the western side of Newnan, and then Hope was further east down the road near the high school, where the damage only got much, much more significant. Back to you.
All right, Melissa, let me ask you this. When you were driving down there, how widespread would you say the damage was in your travels trying to get to your location?
Well, Chesley, I couldn't even get to the roads with the significant damage. That's the problem around here, is because, as Hope was saying, there's no roads that are blocked off by cones. It's literally, there are trees and power lines on the road. So the path that this storm took, which was from Franklin, the town west of here, just south of Georgia, was it 34 or 43? I'm mixing up my numbers here. But this tornado was a long track tornado, was on the ground, and it rode that entire track. So there's really, we're trying to navigate around all of the closed roads to get to where the heart and core of the damage is. And it was just too difficult with it being dark and just hours after the storm hit. So the damage is significant. I mean, we know they put out, Chesley, a tornado emergency for this storm as it was coming into Newnan. We saw the tornado debris signature, which on radar, we're looking at, what's normal meteorological on the radar, like rain or hail or sleet or snow, and what's non-meteorological, which is debris. We saw debris on the radar lofted in the air. So we know the storm did significant damage, and we just can't get in there yet. The road's still blocked off. They're working hard, and as soon as we can get in there, we will.
National Weather Service will get out and take a look at that, and we'll find out whether or not that could have been an EF3, maybe an EF4 tornado. So we'll see. Meteorologist Melissa Nord out there live on the scene. Really appreciate that report.
Chesley.
Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you still hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I did actually call the National Weather Service earlier, and they said, they are going to be out here in person. With every tornado that they've confirmed during this pandemic, they don't always go out in person. They rely a lot on emergency managers. But this particular storm, because they want to figure out the exact categories at what locations, they will be out here at some point later this morning. They just don't know what exact time. But if you travel about a half a mile down the road, talking about the destructive damage, let me tell you what I've heard from some of the families that were coming out. I mean, they were talking about brick walls toppled over by the winds. And not just trees falling onto the roofs of houses, but that kind of structural damage. And as you're mentioning EF3 or so, that's the type of rating we start to hear about when we hear about brick walls toppling over. So just wanted to add that little piece of information. Again, we only have few photos and videos we've been able to get to you in the overnight, but as light comes up and more roads are cleared off, we will get a much clearer picture.
All right, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your report. Stay safe down there. Christy, over to you.
Hey, Chesley, let's take a look at the power outages right now. There are more than 17,000 people without power statewide. We're talking all providers here. I've kept my eye on Georgia Power this morning because they are the provider with the most outages, more than 14,000 households statewide without power this morning. Some of the counties that are hardest hit right now are, let's see, we've got Bartow County, about 2,900 households. Coweta County, about 1,900 households without power. Of course, Fulton County, I think at the most right now with 3,000 households without power. Polk County also hit pretty hard overnight, about 1,900 households without power. But anywhere around the metro, if you live in Gwinnett or DeKalb, Clayton, Cobb, Douglas, all of you guys are reporting, several hundred households without power this morning. Henry County also hit pretty hard, 1,500 households. So it is widespread. You can tell with the number and the locations of these counties, it's all over the place. And we spoke with Allison from Georgia Power just a little while ago, who said she does say crews are out there already working to get it restored, and it looks like it will get better little bit by little bit, but of course they have to wait until the storm is completely moved out and it is safe for the crews to do so. The biggest piece of advice here, though, is that you never know which lines are live, so just avoid them completely. That's why it's best to stay home right now, especially because I'll tell you from experience, those lines are really hard to see when it's dark outside, and you usually don't know you're coming up on one until it's already too late or it's right there in front of you. All right, let's check in with Joe Ripley right now. He is down in Heard County, the city of Franklin, where they had lots of damage. Joe has been sending out and tweeting out pictures and navigating around safely, trying to find and give us a good idea of what it looks like down there. Joe, what's the latest?
It is a challenge, Christy, to navigate these roads here in Franklin just because you never know what you will happen upon. Take this tree, for instance. As we start to get a little bit more daylight, we can understand just the full extent of the damage we're seeing here in the city of Franklin in Heard County. Beyond this tree, with limbs and debris scattered all across the street, making it completely impassable and blocking it, there is another tree about 10 to 20 yards beyond that, and then another tree, 3 trees down in succession, one right after the other within a span of about 50 yards or so. So those are the dangers that severe weather still poses. Even though the storm system has moved out, you can see what it left behind. And Melissa was just talking about that tornado track, Highway 34, Highway 27, blowing through Heard County on its way into Coweta County, leaving significant damage as we've seen here. Also, as we start to hear the birds chirping, people starting to wake up, coming out of their homes to see the damage. One woman I spoke with earlier said she was just lucky to be alive right now. Guess we got lucky. That's exactly what she told me. She's thankful to be alive right now, Christy. Fortunately, no injuries reported, and that's something that we're also tracking as well as folks, start to come out. Emergency crews start to get to more parts that were unreachable before. We'll start to get a better sense of if there are any more injuries due to this storm as well.
Joe, I've been tracking the power outages there. Where you are in Heard County, for Georgia Power customers at least, it looks like about 760 people, or households rather, are without power right now. From what you can tell, is that the majority, or from where you've driven around? I know it's in the middle of the night, so people have their lights off as they're sleeping anyway, but can you tell if anyone in the county, anyone you drove by, has power right now?
Not that I can find. When we first got here, traffic lights were out, so we had to take extreme precaution while driving on the roads. One woman, that woman I told you about who came out earlier, had a flashlight. Didn't look like her lights were on either. We've seen tons of utility crews driving from street to street, trying to see how they can restore power right now, repair the damage as well as restore power. That will take some time. But as we can tell right now, from downtown to the neighborhoods here and around Franklin, no power right now. At least I believe 750 to 800 people were without power at last check, according to Georgia Power. Christy.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's thanks to you and your photographers' car headlights that we're getting to see the damage that we do. Last question before I let you go. How were you guys able to safely navigate around? What are you keeping your eyes out for?
Yeah, so on the ground, a major shout out to my photographer, Stephen Boise, who got here ahead of time, was trying to talk me through how to navigate around the streets, because it is hard to see, especially when it's dark. When we first got here, it was raining as well, pouring. So you'll want to make sure you look for any shiny objects. You want to make sure you look out for pools of water, and just take it slow. You can never go too slow, because you can happen upon these trees, these limbs right in the middle of the road, and it does take some know-how, but it also takes a lot of caution when you're out in the streets to avoid those potential risks and the damage. That's the top priority, your safety, and it's something we've heard from emergency officials all morning long. Please stay home if you're in Heard, Coweta counties, any areas affected by the severe weather we've had overnight. You don't want to chance it. If you can stay safe, do so by staying home.
All right, Joe, that is the best advice. I will agree with you, though. Boise is excellent at navigating. He and I have done some hurricane coverage together, and he is great at trying to figure out how to safely get around those roads. You guys stay safe down there. All right, Chesley, what are you tracking right now on the radar?
Well, you know, not all of us, we weren't the only ones hit by this severe weather. You can see our neighbors to the west taking a severe hit from some of these storms. This is just hours before we did. At least 5 people are dead following a string of possible tornadoes, and you saw one on camera right there. The twisters were caught on camera, of course, from the air and also from the ground. Some homes completely destroyed. Roofs were ripped off. I mean, it was devastating. If you look at some of those pictures right there, some of the worst damage we found in Calhoun County here, not far from the state line. Crews working to rescue people trapped inside their homes. Just devastating. Strong winds, bending and snapping around trees, knocking out power to thousands. Man, it was a really rough go of it in Alabama, parts of Alabama. So far, about 8 tornadoes being reported there. There could be more. Again, as the sun begins to rise, we'll continue to watch that as we go along. Let's take a look at our radar here. And something I'm noticing here, if you take a look at our radar, you know, we were watching these storms really start to diminish not long ago. But now, as they're pushing a little bit further south of the city, we're starting to see them fire back up again. You can see some of those reds now starting to enter in, where we got some very heavy rain, numerous lightning strikes. So they're picking up on some energy as they continue to slide up toward the north and east. Over toward Godfrey right now, you're dealing with some very heavy rain, and Madison as well. Headed toward Monticello, you do have numerous lightning strikes, so it's coming your way. A little bit further back to the west, you see just south of Locust Grove, coming out of the Griffin area in Spalding County. We got some numerous lightning strikes there, but even more on the way. So even as things begin to calm down a little bit here in Griffin, more will be beyond that. You see over here toward Concord, just north of Woodbury, we got some very heavy rain there and some numerous lightning strikes, and then further off to the west as well. Now, there's no warnings associated with these, not right now. We really need the winds to get up to about 60 miles per hour or so for some severe weather to be a severe weather thunderstorm, or a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued with this, or even hail. And so we'll watch that, because, again, these are starting to intensify a bit as they head a little bit further down to the south. Thomaston, we're watching out for you. You have nothing right now, but these are headed your way and then further down in the south. The severe weather threat will shift a little bit further to the south, especially once we get into the daytime heating as that front continues to pass or push further out of the way. Numerous reports so far, and it started during the afternoon yesterday of hail. We got a lot of pictures in from our viewers reporting hail falling in their area. A lot out of the northern parts of Cobb County, Ackworth area, also over toward Kennesaw, into Marietta, and saw numerous reports of hail. Also wind damage as well. Watching Polk County. Lots of people saying, oh, yeah, what they saw was a tornado. We got some wind damage there, so we'll be watching and checking for that as well. But Melissa mentioned earlier when we were watching the radar that numerous tornado with debris, at least as far as Doppler indicated, or at least radar indicated, a tornado that moved into Heard County down toward the Franklin area, which we have reports of damage, numerous damage down there, which you saw with Joe, and then also over toward Newnan and Coweta County, and then it started to slide closer up to the Peachtree City area before it began to dissipate. But this could have been a very large, and we're talking about a very large or massive tornado. And so we got numerous reports of structure damage, trees on roads. We've been showing you that pretty much all morning long, but this seems to be, so far, one of the hardest hit areas, and it has been at least confirmed by our radar that there was a tornado in this particular area. So we'll get a further check on that. Again, as the sun begins to rise, the National Weather Service goes out. We'll get a check and see on how strong that could have been. Notice, again, the storms are now starting to slide a little bit further to the south and starting to pick up in intensity here. We're tracking a front that's moving through the area. You see back behind it, our winds are starting to shift a little bit more toward the west. All right, ahead of it, more of a southerly flow. And so you're getting some shear here, of course, and we'll start to see the possibility for more severe thunderstorms to pop up. It'll be mainly in the central and southern portions of our state. You can see that by the dark green shade here. That is a level 1 out of a possible 5, which is a marginal risk for severe weather. Now notice what happens tomorrow. We're looking at an enhanced risk for severe weather over toward western portions of Tennessee and the Memphis area. The slight risk extends down into northern parts of Alabama. We have the level 1, which is a marginal risk for our northwestern counties as well. Already went through it yesterday, especially with some heavy rain. That will happen again for tomorrow. And then notice what happens as we head into the day on Sunday. That slight risk drops down to our area, covering much of North Georgia from Atlanta northward in the slight risk for severe weather. So we'll continue to monitor that. That could be another round of strong to severe thunderstorms happening on Sunday. Now the timing for that looks to be early on Sunday. I think it will linger through the afternoon. And that means, you need some updates, folks. So to get the latest updates on storm damage or changing weather in your area, even the power outages, all you have to do is download our 11 Alive app. You can do so and sign up for severe weather alerts. You can check our interactive radar and check out for the changes that will be taking place in your neighborhood. And again, another round will be coming through this weekend, so it's the best time to go ahead and download that app while you can. Crash Clark, how's things looking on the roadways out there?
Well, the interstates are in pretty rough shape, but we want to talk about some breaking news right now, folks. Sky Tracker over the scene here of this deadly pedestrian accident over in DeKalb County. Now, this is going to be on Flat Shoals Parkway, just near Columbia Drive. That's just south of I-285. It looks like they are obviously redirecting traffic around this area, folks. If you can, just avoid it. When things like this happen, as tragic as they are, they do need to investigate, so that's going to take probably an hour at least until they can reopen some of this roadway. Again, Flat Shoals Parkway, just south of 285 near Columbia Drive. A pedestrian has been struck and unfortunately killed. So again, avoid that area. Let's get to the maps. I want to show you some good news as far as the rush hour is concerned for folks on the east side perimeter. We've been dealing with major delays because of a wreck. First of all, well, that's where the pedestrian accident occurred, right here, Flat Shoals again at Columbia Drive. But this is the one I want to tell you about on the interstate, where we had all lanes completely shut down on 285 northbound at Covington Highway. They just moved all this off to the right, but it sat out there forever and a day, backing you up beyond I-20. In fact, you were backed up towards Flat Shoals itself. You could see some of that right there, all that traffic coming at you. That's all that traffic that's been just basically standing still. So they are finally able to get a little bit of movement out there. The rest of the roadways are quiet, but they are still saturated. So folks, if you're heading out and doing some traveling, please slow it down. Christy?
All right, let's get back to our storm coverage now. We have video and images continuing to come into the newsroom. Thanks to you guys who are our eyes and ears, especially when it's hard for our crews to get to some of the places that are hardest hit this morning. Many of you are sharing your direct experiences with us from what you're waking up to and what you saw last night when the storm moved through the area. Liza Lucas is going through it all. She's watching it. All of those damage reports and those pictures and videos come in. Liza, what are people sending in?
Well, we're definitely starting to see more of that come in as we get closer and closer to daylight this morning. More and more people waking up. 11 Live viewer just sent this video. A little hard to see because again it's still dark, but this is some flooding in the Canton, Georgia area. Again, Cherokee County, down trees. Good news in this case, Brittany Dawson, one of our storm tracker, tells us that this tree fell away from the house. So that is relief for the family there. We've been following a lot of this throughout the course of the evening. We want to point you to some video that was shared with us, some pictures right here from Cindy Bruce out in Helen. You can see they are dealing with some floodwaters. She lives next to the river, she tells us, but we do know the National Weather Service had a flood warning in that area in effect until about 7:15. That's just one of the issues that's been popping up across the metro. You've been really keeping us posted as we've seen this powerful wind and rain and hail come across the metro area. Our storm trackers have been very active over the past 24 hours. A lot of you, particularly those in Newnan, tell us that you've been really shaken by what you have seen and what you have heard. The good news is that many of you tell us that you have been and are okay, but we've been following this throughout the course of the night. We're going to continue to do so, and officials also using their social media channels as they do each time we have these storm events. Flood County Police Department, one of many, telling people to really stay off the roadways. In particular, do not cross the roadways if there's water coming across. That's a dangerous situation. In fact, this video right here from police shows a stranded vehicle, police on scene trying to help them out. So again, we're going to stay on top of this here. Our team is busy working in the background. You can text us as well, your pictures and video, 404-885-7600. I'm on the other end of those texts. Christy.
Keep sending them in. We want to see them. That number, we're going to put it up on the screen for you. Again, 404-885-7600. Text it directly. You'll be sending it directly to Liza. All right, Chesley, over to you. What are you tracking right now?
All right, we're going to tell you that the wet weather will continue to slide further down to the south. It will move south of us. Could intensify a bit as it moves over toward the central and southern portions of the state, so we'll watch that. But you can see where we have a few isolated showers left over. A lot of these clouds will start to break down, though, as we head toward the afternoon, so you may get a little bit of sunshine in here as we head into the afternoon. I want to quickly tell you that for our ATL audience, we're going to take a pause, and then we're going to do a live cut-in on the ATL. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Chesley McNeil. Take a look. We are going to see the rain that we have out there this morning continue to push further down to the south of us. May even get a break in some of the clouds here, get a little bit of sunshine poking through, but at least for our severe weather threat, that's over for us for now. Now, through the overnight, the clouds will start to move back in, and we'll see the rain push back into the area as we head into Saturday. So we'll have that rain around early. 80 will be our afternoon high temperature, maybe a little bit of sunshine during the afternoon. Here comes another round of thunderstorms to our area on Sunday. We're looking at 73 degrees for the high temperature. There is a slight risk for severe weather. There could be some strong to severe thunderstorms around. I think it will be around at least through early afternoon before things begin to settle down, and we'll get the sunshine back in as we head into the afternoon on Sunday.
Five to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us, talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the first of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us, talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The storm trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. for Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
And Chesley, we are on the western side of the Newnan area, and here you can see huge trees ripped up by the root system behind me. This is on the outskirts of the tornado. This is on Smoky Road. We actually can't get much further down the road because there are so many tree crews that are out there, power crews that are out there trying to clear a huge amount of debris from the roadway that was blocking the road. It was also blocking residents from getting out after the storm passed. Now down the road, the damage does get worse. We have heard reports from officials and from residents coming out that there are actually brick walls that were toppled over. So we're talking about some structural damage, not just some tree damage that's further down the road. And now that we're finally getting some daylight out here, we're going to get a much clearer picture and unfortunately a very destructive look at the damage. So significant tornado passed through here in Newnan, and we'll be out here all day long assessing the storm.
Street level zoom and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
And the fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us, talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The storm trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up
Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need.
with all the energy of your morning coffee.
Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11 Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11 Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11 Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level, he goes next level. Together, we make sure you get to work on time. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive. Hey, quick, open up your phone camera right now. Aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you right to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11 Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of
in your area? We actually got some video in from Mary in Canton, Georgia. Again, this was a pre-daylight, pre-sun coming up video, but she was sharing some flooding that was already popping up. So we're going to stay on top of it. Down trees, power lines, obviously an issue. Chesley, social media, though, once again, painting a picture of what's going on. And again, guys, you can just text us, let us know what's going on. If you're able to safely take a picture, video, we would love to see it. It really paints a picture of what many of you are dealing with across the metro.
All right, thanks a lot, Liza. Really appreciate that. Yeah, more and more pictures will be coming in, folks, as folks get a chance to get out and assess their area. And we have reporters, again, all over the place, but they can't get everywhere. And so we rely on you to show us at least what's happening in your area. You help us tell the story, but we want you to do so safely. If you can stamp a photo of maybe what's happening in your particular area, send that to us. We got an 11 Live Storm Tracker Facebook group. You can join that and put your videos in there, also your photos. We'd love to see that, love to see it. Starting to see some of those storms begin to intensify once again, but it is heading further down to the south. We'll be moving out of our area momentarily. You can see up here to the north, we've begun to clear it out. Still have the clouds in place for the most part, but at least we're clear from any severe weather, any more severe weather, any threats of severe weather. But some of our southernmost counties still going through it. Here's Jasper and Putnam County. You can see where we have numerous lightning strikes. And typically this is the energy that you need to really spark up some of that severe weather, even tornadoes. And so we'll watch that. We expected this line to intensify a bit, moving a little further into the central portions of the state, especially with the daytime heating. We're just now starting to see the sun come up, and so we're not seeing those fire up too much yet, but we'll watch it for you, and then we'll continue to keep you updated on that. But for the most part, we're catching a break for the rest of this afternoon for a lot of us, especially up here to the north, into the metro area. It's all about assessing the damage that has been left over from some of these storms out there. We'll be hearing probably more about possible tornadoes in some other spots as well, especially over here toward Polk County. Some significant damage being reported over here. So far saying wind damage, but it could be that a small tornado or a brief tornado could have touched down there. Also over into Cobb County, we've been hearing about hail damage, of course, and also some wind damage there. Even over here toward our east as well, we've been hearing about reports. It started during the afternoon. It was early afternoon that we started seeing some of these thunderstorms beginning to fire up, especially up here to the far northwest. We talked about Dade and Walker County. They were under a severe thunderstorm warning even before I left the building yesterday. And so a lot of that has been singing down to the south. So it started early afternoon and has been lasting even up until now. Wow, so a long storm system that we have been dealing with. But that one down there in Newnan County, we'll say even Heard County, parts of Heard County into Newnan County has been the one that has been so far showing the most damage from. But again, we start to get reports as we go through the rest of the morning. Keep in mind also there's some flooding up to the far northwest as well. Some of our area creeks and streams. So if you live in this area here, I'd say even down as far as Rome into Bartow County, look out for your area creeks and streams. They are starting to flood their banks a little bit. So far the reports have been minor, but keep in mind that runoff takes some time, and so flooding, especially along rivers and streams and ponds, will take time to fill up because we still have that runoff coming in, and so it takes some time to fill up, and so flooding is certainly possible in some of those spots. Again, most of your thunderstorms right now down here to our southernmost counties, again, is Jasper and Putnam County. Numerous lightning strikes associated with the thunderstorms there. They were weak, but started to intensify as the line continued to head down to the south. The front is still back off to the north of this area here, so the front is not right along this line, but still up here to the north, and so we'll continue to watch that as it continues to push further down the south. We'll push those storms back down to the south. Now keep in mind also, we're not done with the rain. Unfortunately, as we head into the weekend, we're going to see a return of the showers, especially as we head into Saturday. You're looking at some storms around early, especially up here to the far north and west. There will be a marginal risk for severe weather for places like Dade, Walker County, into Murray County, Gilmer, Fanning County. Have to be on the lookout, even as far south as Floyd County into Rome. So we have to watch that for Saturday. And then into Sunday, that threat starts to shift a little bit further down to the south. And so even from Atlanta northward, we'll say under a slight risk for severe weather, which means that some of those thunderstorms could be on the strong severe side, packing some very gusty winds. I think the threat right now would be the damaging winds and also the very heavy rain that would be associated with some of those storms moving through. Keep in mind, we've already had a whole lot of heavy rain in the area, and so any more rain coming our way with a little bit of wind could go ahead and push over some of those weak trees or even blow off some of those loose limbs from all the wind that we've had so far from this system. So we're not done with it yet. This is we'll call this the number one punch coming through, and then we'll get another brief shot of some showers by tomorrow morning, and then Sunday will be that line that pushes through. And so it's not going to take much, I think, for some of those weaker trees to begin to blow over. So maybe get a chance this weekend to go out and assess some of that, especially for today and early tomorrow. Assess some of that to see if you have any weak trees in your area, knowing that there is a possibility for more storms to move through on Sunday. So you may be able to get a chance to maybe cut some of those down or get them out of the way before those storms roll through and more damage comes. Again, showing you the radar here as some of you are waking up now. We've been reporting all morning long that we have a lot of damage down in the Newnan area. We have crews all over the place because it's very widespread down there. Jerry Carnes joins us now live from the Newnan area to assess some of the damage he's come across. Good morning to you, Jerry.
Good morning, Chesley. We want to show you the inside of Calvary Church here. The entire roof has been ripped off of this facility, this building that has been here for years and years. The church actually moved in just 3 years ago. You can see the damage inside of here. Portions of the roof gone, a lot of water damage inside. I'm joined by Joel Dover, who is the minister here. You've taken a tour inside. What is it like?
I have. We have an extensive amount of damage inside. As you mentioned, there's a great deal of standing water in the lobby, a lot of broken glass. It's not a very safe environment right now. And of course, things scattered everywhere, both inside and here on the lawn.
And you've had some church members that you've talked to who have spoken to you a little bit about damage at their own homes.
We have. I mean, this church building is replaceable. Our heart's really with our church members. And we've had several that last night were hit very hard, a few that had extensive damage and lost their homes. And so our hearts are with them and with the rest of our community today.
Talk a little bit about the total amount of damage you see inside and what it's going to take to replace what you've lost and repair this building. And do you think you'll move back in here at some point?
To be honest with you, I don't know if this is a repairable project or not, or if it will need to be demolished. The damage is so extensive that it may be worth more to repair it than what the building is worth. We'll, of course, in due time, get insurance and all those people out here to see. But for the time being, we'll just be thankful to the Lord that the church is fine. Our building is hurt, but the people are fine.
And the folks you've talked to, they're all okay. Their houses have damage, but they're physically okay.
Yeah, like you guys, we've been up most of the night. We started receiving text messages around, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We were checking in, asking people to check in with us. We're aware of 2 families right now that have extensive damage. One that has completely lost their home, and we're hearing of other friends in the community, as the sun came up this morning, that have extensive damage as well. That's where our heart is. We want everyone to know that we're here. If we can help, reach out to us. And Calvary Chapel Church, and we care about folks in this community, and we're going to be good neighbors. You'll see us out with chainsaws here very shortly, helping to get people uncovered this morning and to help where we can.
Last question, Joel, because I know you got to go check on some of the folks that you do care for. You've got a big Sunday coming up this Sunday, Palm Sunday, and then a week later, Easter. What will you do about the church meeting?
Well, I don't know how we're going to meet. Fortunately, all the churches, because of the pandemic, are pretty well set up to meet online. We can always do that. But we're going to celebrate the resurrection of the Lord, whether we're in this building or not. And we're looking forward to a wonderful Easter season and giving glory to God for all of his good work.
Thank you, Joel. That's Joel Dover, minister of Calvary Church. Thank you so much. Sorry about the Calvary Chapel. Thank you so much. And sorry about what we see in here, and hope you do rebound. Let's take one more look inside here. This is, oh my gosh, just part of the damage that we're seeing here in the city of Newnan. Roofs gone. Around the corner from where we are, I took a walk down part of a street and I saw several homes damaged. We are very close to downtown where there's extensive damage. So that's what we're seeing here. We're going to check on some more locations and we'll be back to you a little later.
Jerry Carnes, all right, live there. Wow, that's a lot of damage there. That's a brick building that we're talking about there. So you can see the extent of the damage down there. And so we're going to continue to watch that as we go along. All right, in just a few minutes here, we're going to bring you a live report of officials from Coweta County. In fact, they're standing by with some reports. We did confirm one death that took place down there in Coweta County. And so let's go live there now to the officials, bringing a presser right now. Are they ready yet? Maybe they're not ready. They're not ready yet. Okay, so we're going to bring you that in just a few minutes. They are set. Actually, it's just now 8:21, and so right at 8:30, we're going to have that presser for you to get the latest on what took place down there. So we do have some new information for you this morning. They're feeding residents at Newnan Center this morning. That will be taking place out in the Newnan area where we've been showing you all that damage down there, and so they will be feeding. Newnan City Council will be the ones that will be putting that on. And so if you're in that area, you're watching us now, and you maybe have enough damage at your home that you're not able to get in, or whatever the case may be, you can go over to the Newnan Center there and maybe get some food, recharge yourself because of all the damage that's going to be taking place down there. I know you got to get back to your home. Maybe you need some questions answered. We're going to have all those answers for you here coming up. And so if you just stay tuned with us, we'll have the very latest. Again, we're still tracking some storms that are down to the south of us, but out of at least the Newnan area so far. Where we've seen a lot of that damage. We'll continue to watch these storms as they continue to intensify. They will be moving out of our viewing area momentarily, but we still have some strong storms, especially over toward Jasper, Putnam County. As you take a look at the radar here, I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit so you can get a little better glimpse of this. Where we're talking over here toward Edenton is where we have some very heavy rain coming down, as you can see. You can see the numerous lightning strikes associated with this over toward Monticello as well. All this is slowly making its way south and east, but it's training in those areas. And so, for example, when you're looking at Edenton here, and I'm going to stop the radar here, and when you look at Edenton, you see that heavy rain coming down. It's coming down so hard and heavy that it has no place to go, and so it really starts to pile up. So no doubt we're having pounding on the roadways in these particular areas. So far, I haven't seen any reports of any schools closed there, but to get a complete list, you can go to our website, 11alive.com. We also have it scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen. We have schools closed. We also have schools on delay, and that's throughout the area, all of North Georgia. So make sure you check ahead before you're leaving that area. Some of you got to get out and go to work as well. And so if you know that you had storms in your area, folks, we just want you to be very, very careful. You saw in Hope Ford's live shot where cars were riding up and down that street that she was on because they couldn't get over to the other street, but you saw all the debris in the roadways. And so if cars happen to roll over that, I'm sure there's nails in the road. I'm sure that there's metal sheets in the road. You know how big those are. That could do some damage to your car. As far as your tires go, as far as the underbelly of your car. So try not to roll over those areas. Give crews a time or a chance at least to get out and assess some of the damage that are on the roadways out there before you venture out, before you do it, if you really have that time. And just notice a severe thunderstorm warning that has just popped up here. That's not in our area. It's just over toward South Carolina. But that shows that these storms are starting to intensify a bit. Don't see any in our area as of yet, but you see the numerous lightning strikes associated with it. So some energy is being tapped here out of the atmosphere to cause these storms to start to ramp up just a little bit. And so we see that down in Thomaston, over in Upson County. You see some of those headed in your direction. Thomaston, you have light rain on you right now, but you will get in on some of these thunderstorms momentarily. So we'll watch that as it continues to push further up. At least in Jackson and Butts County, things are starting to lighten up just a little bit. You still have the rain, but you're out of at least the threat for heavy rain, and you could be hearing some thunder in your area, but most of those thunderstorms have pushed down to the south. Now we got to watch out what's taking place back down to the south and west of you as more of that will start to slide in. I think it'll be south. Here's Butts County here. I think it'll be more to the south of you, but you may be hearing some of those thunderstorms coming your way in just a few. Over toward Locust Grove, finally, you're starting to get out of the heavy rain. McDonough, especially we saw some very hefty thunderstorms over in southern portions of Henry County, so that's finally starting to get away from you as well. Again, those storms just keep training in the same areas, and so they're coming right on up from the south, further off to the north, ahead of a front that's up to the north of us that will continue to push through, and so we'll keep you updated on that. What we're going to do here is we're going to pause. We have a cut-in that we're going to do. We're going to pause for a minute. We're going to do a live cut-in on WXIA, our sister station, and then we're going to come right back here to bring you that live presser of the situation in Coweta County, where we've seen much of the damage, even a confirmed death so far, one so far. So we want you to stay tuned for that as well, and we'll continue to keep you updated on all the things that's taking place. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Chesley McNeil. We've been assessing some of the thunderstorms in our area and some of the damage as well. Been bringing live reports. And you can see how we still have in our southernmost counties, some of those thunderstorms continue to push through. Now, these are not severe, not as of yet, but are packing quite a punch as far as the winds. And you can see the numerous lightning strikes associated with it. Now, it's not affecting our northernmost counties. As you can see, we're already starting to clear out. Our severe weather threat here is over. That is now pushing down to the south. But we'll have another round move through the area by tomorrow and even into Sunday. Sunday, we have a slight risk for severe weather, so we'll have another round. So if you want to get out and assess some of the damage around your house, make sure you do so. And if there's anything loose or even maybe some damaged trees, you may want to get those down before more storms move back into your forecast area by the weekend. And so we'll continue to keep you updated here at 11live.com for all the latest. We're also live on the ATL right now, so if you want to flip over there, you can get local coverage there as well. All right, as we are now back, we are looking at, again, those thunderstorms down to our south. And in just a few minutes, we're going to take you to a live presser over in Coweta County. That's where we've seen a lot of destruction. And we can say damage, but when we're talking about the amount, we're talking about destruction. Buildings being toppled over. We've seen reports of trees knocked down into the roadways. Power outages are numerous in that area, and so we're going to get a live report from that area. There is one confirmed fatality in that area as well, and so we really want to get an assessment of the damage down there. We do have crews spread out all over the place, especially down there to the south where we've been hearing about more of that damage, but we do have damage in other spots as well, especially in places like Polk County as well. We've been hearing about that. Those storms have taken place earlier in the evening and the afternoon, and so it was through the overnight that we saw that tornado, which on the radar looked to be a very massive tornado. We're talking about what could be an EF3, maybe an EF4, maybe even a little higher than that. Right? We really won't know the winds or the peak of the winds until the National Weather Service gets a chance to get out. Our meteorologist, Melissa Nord, was saying that she talked to the National Weather Service, and because of the pandemic, they hadn't been going out assessing some of the damage. But with something like this, there's no doubt that they'll go out. They'll go out and they'll do two things. They usually assess it through the air by helicopter. You get a good chance to see the path of the storm, but you really get a good glimpse of it once you're down there on the ground. Pictures will be taken, that kind of thing. I tell you what they'll be looking for, and as you're assessing the damage in your house, you can tell as well. To a structure, you're typically looking for about 20% of the roof taken off. right? When you're looking at some of the trees and the debris around, you're looking to see if it's spread out all over the place. Typically, when we just have what's called straight line winds, you get destruction or damage in one particular line. So the trees are all laying in one particular order, not really all over the place, like with a tornado. With a tornado, we're getting winds, very strong and powerful winds moving in the opposite direction very rapidly, okay? And you have that twist. And so when you're looking at the trees, you're not only looking for trees being snapped, but you're also looking at twists of the trees as well. Typically, they'll twist and snap off. All right. Typically with straight line wind damage, you usually get a tree that kind of topples over. And that's not to say that tornadoes can't do that either, but we have a lot of that in our area, not only down here in the Coweta County and parts of Heard County, but throughout our area, we've been getting reports of that wind damage and then hail damage as well. That does a lot of damage to our roofs and also our cars. Those of us who don't have garages, we got to park our cars outside. And so a lot of folks waking up and probably seeing some of that. We want to see your pictures, folks. We want to see what has happened in your particular area. You help us tell the story. Okay. And so if you can do so safely, we want you to snap pictures or take a little bit of video on your phone, send it to us. All right. 11live.com. You can do that. Send it to us. Also, our 11 Live Storm Tracker Facebook group. We've been assessing those. Liza Lucas has been all over it this morning. We thank you for those pictures that you've sent us so far, helping us to tell the story. And we want to see a little bit more of that now that the storms are a little bit further down to the south. And so we can see places like Dawson. Places like, especially like Cherokee County, Bartow County, where we've heard of some wind damage there, especially early in the afternoon just yesterday. So if you got some pictures, we'd love to see those and help tell the story. Again, so far, nothing severe right now. Even the tornado watch that we had. All right, so we're going over to a presser now live from Coweta County. Let's get the very latest from there.
We're here this morning because we had a pretty catastrophic storm hit our town and county last night. We're trying to stay on top of this by giving some normal regular briefings. We're going to be having another briefing at 11 and at 3 today. So if y'all like to come back for that. We have our public safety team behind this, and I first want to thank them. We've had everyone's participation to get our citizens help, and to GEMA and the GEMA and the governor's office has been kind. They've sent all the resources down we've needed. We've had immense support from our surrounding agencies and counties and partners. So we just can't thank everyone enough for the outpouring we've had so far.
All right, looks like we have lost our live shot there. That was Coweta County officials giving us an update on, okay, they're back. All right, so we want to bring you that because we know of at least, okay, let's go back. Let's go back now live.
And Fire Chief, we received calls this morning right after midnight of a tornado that had hit downtown Newnan. The area that was significantly damaged was around the Newnan High School area and the LaGrange Street area and the streets off from there. So had crews out all night, ran into problems of the roads being down, heavy trees. Public Works has come out, cleared the major roads, but we still have a lot of work to do. Turn it over to Pat Wilson.
Thank you, Chief. I'm Pat Wilson, Fire Chief, Coweta County Fire Rescue Department. Obviously, last night, like Chief Brown said, our crews were notified sometime around, midnight of a significant storm or tornado that had struck our area. For the county, we responded to the west side of the county, primarily the Smoky Road area. We had obviously numerous trees down, roads blocked. Our crews were working very hard, as tedious as they could, obviously, to get through as much debris to get to homes. Still, again, we have a lot of work left ahead of us. Our teams are still out working as of now, and we expect we're going to be out for some time to come as we check each home to make sure that we have everyone out. We're also partnering, obviously, with all of our partners. We have groups from GMAG. We have regional resources from all over that are actually here helping us out. We have the Georgia Search and Rescue GSAR teams that are here assisting with search and rescue. Like I said, numerous different fire departments around the region, from Atlanta to our friends right down the street in Fayette County, our folks from over in Palmetto, other parts of Fulton County that are here assisting us this morning. So just very thankful to all of our teams as we all have come together, from our 911 team, getting calls out to all of our partners, here with city of Newnan, and just an amazing showing today through a very catastrophic event. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Keith Brady. I'm the mayor of the city of Newnan, and first of all, I'd like to express my thoughts and prayers that go out to all of the families who have been affected by this devastating storm that hit us last night. I'd also like to say thank you to our first responders and to all of our public safety personnel who showed up immediately after the storm hit and are still on the scene and will be there for weeks to come. We are very fortunate that we are a municipal electric authority of Georgia City. Our MEAG family across the state, cities like Marietta and Griffin and LaGrange will show up and help us help ourselves with this cleanup, and we appreciate that very much. We also appreciate the efforts from the governor's office. We want to pledge to our citizens that we're in this for you till we get it all cleaned up and get our city back to where it normally is. We appreciate their help and their patience. Thank you.
Yeah, I think first of all we ought to thank the good Lord above. This could have been a whole lot worse. Our emergency responders did a phenomenal job all night, and we're appreciative of them and their sacrifices. Really want to thank Governor Brian Kemp for signing an executive order at 2 o'clock last night. He's got the full forces of the state down here with us, and thankful to our administrator, Mr. Michael Fouts. He stayed with it the entire time. Thank you very much. I'm Bob Blackburn, Chairman of the County Commission.
Good morning. My name is Mark Cooper. I'm the Deputy Chief of Police for Newnan, Georgia. First, I'd like to also extend my thanks and gratitude to each one of these gentlemen behind me and their agencies. This is a huge team effort. You could not tell where jurisdictional lines were overnight. Each one of us were answering calls in different jurisdictions and different disciplines. We had police officers responding to fire and EMS calls, and probably firefighters responding to police calls last night. There is a large amount of damage in that south area of Newnan, extending towards the east. We still are trying to assess that damage now that daylight has broke, so we have crews out doing assessments and reconfirming the health and safety of our citizens. And I'd also just like to express the thought that we're here for our citizens, and we'll be trying to help them adjust in this period of tragedy over the next number of days as well. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Wood. I'm the sheriff of Coweta County. I just want to express my deep sympathy and regrets to each and every person who had property losses during the night. Those that were injured, Lord, we just pray that they are well and that they continue to get better. We appreciate each and every person who showed up, as well as the public safety. Some came out with chainsaws and began to cut trees out of the road before we even were able to get there. It means a lot to all the public safety to know that we are supported by our community in such a way. What we're asking now is, if you don't have a reason to be on the roads, please stay off the roads. The linemen that are out there working, trying to restore the electricity, are having trouble where they're having to work in the roadway and cars keep coming by them. So we're asking, if you don't have a reason or a need to be out on the roads, please stay off the roads. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every person here, for what they mean to me personally, because we have built a team here in Coweta County, and it paid off last time. Thank you.
At this time, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead. What's the first priority to get everything cleared? Is it the main road?
Right now, the main priority is we're fixing to go back out, because last night we could just do a sweep of the area. Like I said, we just went around on foot. So it's safety of our citizens. So we're having teams right now that are meeting and making a plan where they can go back out again and check every house that's in that area that has been damaged. So right now, the safety of our citizens and going out and checking to make sure everybody's okay is our main priority.
Can you just tell us again how many injuries you had?
Luckily, right now we have no injuries inside the city limits. We had one medical call last night that was a chest pain, and we did get to that patient, and they're okay as far as I know right now. But like I said again, now we were wanting daylight last night. That's what we were praying for, daylight, because we got to go out, assess the damage, and we've got to get these people to walk and scope these areas to make sure that everybody's okay.
I know you guys are still looking. What's the hardest hit area? Is it Newnan or certain areas of the county?
Newnan downtown was hit very hard around LaGrange Street, around Newnan High School, all the way to Smoky Road in the county. Now, that was the hardest area that was hit for us.
So we did can confirm that there was one fatality in the county. Don't have any specific details on that, but can confirm that there was one fatality last night.
As a result of the storm?
Well, again, I can't confirm any details at this point.
And the location of that?
At this point, regardless, which I don't know the exact location on that. I do apologize, I don't have that information.
Damage are you seeing at this point?
Obviously, you know, and Chief Brown said it in the city. I mean, just catastrophic damage in parts of the city. We also have part of our western part of the county that's just seen just very catastrophic damage. You know, just stuff that's unbelievable. You know, I kind of think about this kind of stuff when you look out in the Midwest, Oklahoma. I think you're going to see kind of that same kind of damage here in Newnan and Coweta County.
Just mainly trees down on houses. You know, some people at first couldn't get out of their houses, but it was the majority of them was just trees on houses.
No entrapments that you know of?
It's not now. I mean, like I said, we're waiting to go out and search the areas in the daylight, but no entrapments at this time. I'm sorry?
Did you have a gas leak at one point?
There was several gas leaks, but that was probably from where the gas meters were on the house, and the Atlanta Natural Gas and Light, they're notified and they're doing it and responding in the most timely manner that they can.
This might be a question for the mayor. Talking about the historic nature, and maybe you can put in front of the microphone. So many of the homes in Newnan are historic. Some of them sound like they're close to 200 years old and have withstood an enormous amount of weather over the years. Can you talk about where everyone's hearts are this morning as you look at some of that damage?
Well, first of all, if you own one of those old homes, your heart is in it. You don't live and own one of those homes if that's not who you are as part of your family.
All right, we seem to have lost that live shot there, but you saw the officials from
get in there and really find
out
out how many of those historic homes were damaged, and the city will pledge to do whatever we need to do, permitting wise or otherwise, to help those homeowners get back to get their homes remodeled and renovated to get back to where they can live a normal life. I would like to emphasize one other thing that the sheriff said. If you don't need to be out in these neighborhoods because you have family there or something, I mean, that's one thing, but if you don't need to be in these neighborhoods, please stay away. It's not going to do our crews, the public safety folks and the cleanup crews, any good to have to be dealing with your safety along with their safety and the cleanup. So we would appreciate it very much if you would take your views from social media and the pictures that are going to be from the media and stay away from the neighborhoods. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.
Tell residents, I'm sure you guys don't have a timeline. It's going to take a while, but we saw so many people without power. I'm sure crews going to be working around the clock. Is there anything you can say to residents right now who are in the dark?
Well, help is on the way, and I mentioned earlier the MEAG connection, and those are cities that have utilities like we have Newnan Utilities here. they have their own utility companies that are part of their cities, and they are on the way. I heard this morning from even as far away as Monroe, we're sending crews down, and I'm sure we'll have crews come in from LaGrange and Griffin and other areas that are close by. East Point is also a MEAG city, so we're counting on them to help. So we appreciate their help very much. Thank you.
I would add on to that point, with power out, one of the things I know we're doing is working on getting oxygen to families, folks that have medical issues. So ones that use power to power their oxygen. So we're getting actual canisters to those folks as we learn about those as well.
I would like to add one more thing too about the high school area. We have road closures in that area due to the trees down, power lines in the roadways, things like that. There is only being allowed the utility companies and public safety into that area by vehicular traffic. Please stay off those roads and out of that area. You're having to turn around on a 2-lane road that has a ditch that's 5 foot deep. And we don't have time to come and save you out of a ditch when we're trying to go get people out of houses or search houses to see if we have to get people out of there. Please stay out of that area with your vehicles. Even if you're a resident, come up. We'll get you to your home as fast as we can, but your vehicle may not make it all the way to your house at this moment. All right? Thank you.
What about the damage on the high school? Is the high school like part of it?
The high school is damaged. There is a numerous buildings down there that have roof damage on it. There are some walls on different buildings that have some structural damage as well. I know that they have their maintenance and construction crews already out there assessing that damage to see what repairs need to be made. I do know they're not here, so I'll make the statement that Coweta County School Board did close schools this week or today, and there'll be an announcement either later today or first thing Monday morning on whether or not school will be back in on Monday as well. All right.
I just have one question about fatality. Was that in the city limits or the county?
It was the county.
How close to Newnan?
I honestly, like I said, I just don't have the street. I do apologize, I don't have that, but the information should be coming out soon.
So we don't know if this one male, female?
No, ma'am. Okay. Sure don't. Thank you.
If I could, please, our county administrator, Michael Fouts, is here. He's been on it since 12 o'clock. Michael, could you fill in some blanks for us?
I think we set it up.
I do want to add one more thing. We have reached out to the American Red Cross. They're here in Newnan working with us for any sheltering we might need. We do have a temporary shelter opened up at middle school, and we're going to move people there so we can get them certified, and the plan is to get them into a hotel room if at all possible today, as soon as possible if we have any displaced people, which we know we have a few already. We don't know how many that's going to be until we get out there and knocking on the door. So we're trying to get that done today so we can get our citizens out of the weather and get them into a dry place and hopefully get them something to eat. So we're working on that.
Which school?
Evans Middle School. Evans Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
You've been listening to public safety officials in Newnan and Coweta County give the latest update on what they're calling catastrophic damage down in Newnan after a likely tornado came through overnight. When we spoke earlier, they said they haven't seen this kind of damage in their community in almost 35 years. So what we just learned, for a quick recap, is that there is a temporary shelter at Evans Middle School for anybody in the community who is now displaced or out of their home, needing a dry place to go and stay for a moment as we assess the damage and crews down there assess the damage. And right now, the most important thing and the message they wanted everyone to hear is that it's very important, if you can, to stay off the roads. They've got emergency crews trying to get through, trying to clear many of the roads, although they said the main roads, most of the main roads have been cleared at this point. But right now, a lot of linemen and power crews are out there trying to restore power. You've seen pictures of the damage. A lot of those lines tangled up in the trees, power poles snapped in half. This is a big job, and the linemen are having a hard time working and getting that power restored because so many people are driving by and people are out naturally curious, wanting to see the damage and assess their homes. But if you can stay off the roads, that will help them help you. We know we all want the power to be restored soon. Right now, public safety crews are, everyone from the mayor to the sheriff, law enforcement, fire chief, EMA, they're all meeting right now. And the plan is to check every home, assess the damage now that we have some daylight, and get a plan of what to do. Coweta County schools are already closed for the day. We have a whole list of all of the schools because Coweta County is not the only one experiencing damage or school closures this morning. That is scrolling at the bottom right here. But if you want to look up your county and your school district specifically, we have that information updated on 11alive.com. Also, as we're waking up this morning, and many of you are probably hungry and looking for breakfast, they are feeding people. Remind me again where this is? At the Newnan Center. It looks like the city council is hosting that, or the county commission. The city council is hosting that, and so they will be feeding people in the community in Newnan. If you need someplace without power, maybe you have holes or in your roofs and dealing with serious damage, it's tough to make breakfast in a situation like that, and especially if you have kids. So they are feeding people this morning. We'll make sure we have all of this information up online too, in case you want to look at it on your phone. You need another recap. We'll have all of that for you. And remember that we are continuing extended coverage over on our sister station, WATL. So if you want to continue the live local look at, we're monitoring all of the counties in the area, what they're dealing with, what we're waking up to this morning, which schools are closed, and of course the local weather reports, because some of you are still dealing with thunderstorms out there. So right now, let's go over to Chesley McNeil. Chesley, I know it's been a long night for you, my friend, and the meteorologists here at 11 Alive. You guys have done an excellent job of, helping us all get through this severe weather overnight. Is there anything specific you are tracking right now, or do we still have storms to the south of us?
Yes, there are storms to the south of us, and as this line started to weaken, it got a little bit further to the south and really started to blow up a little bit. We see numerous lightning strikes associated with a few of the thunderstorms you can see pulling out of Jasper County and Putnam County and pulling over toward the east, and so it's starting to get a little bit stronger further down the south. Now, we suspected this would take place as the line moved a little further down to the central portions of the state, but expected that to happen later on this afternoon with the daytime heating. Now, we have nothing as far as any severe thunderstorms or any severe warnings or anything like that out there right now, but certainly the heavy rain will cause you some issues. The lightning will cause you some issues, so you need to be careful. Even the winds associated with a few of these thunderstorms will cause you issues, even though they do not meet the severe weather criteria. Still going to cause some issues if you're getting out on the roads trying to get to work or to get to school this morning. So that's where you're going to find, again, most of the hefty weather. A lot of this almost out of our area, and these are our last counties here to the south. And so we will continue to stay watch of these, but you can see it's continuing to sink further down to the south. Places like Locust Grove, you're almost out of it here. You got some light rain over you now, and that's just about it for you this morning. Once this light rain gets past your area, things will begin to dry up. McDonough as well, over toward Irondale. Covington, you have some light to moderate rain over your area right now, right along I-20 here, but that's about it. No lightning strikes associated with that. And then over here to the south and west as well. Griffin starting to clear out. We'll be seeing it over toward Panthersville as well. LaGrange starting to clear out as well. And you heard from the emergency management that some of these area counties are sending some of their emergency crews up into Coweta County, which is located right here, some of the neighboring counties, to help out with a lot of damage, that catastrophic damage that has been taking place. And so good news there that things are starting to clear out there, so they don't have to worry too much about their counties, but going to assess and help what's taking place up here, and not only Coweta County, but also in Heard County as well. All right, Carroll County experiencing some of that damage, especially up toward Polk County. Very interested to see, now that the sun is up, if you live in this particular area, and you had some damage in your area, snap a photo or two if you can do so safely and send it to us. We'd love to see what's taking place here. There were reports that there could have been a tornado in this particular area as well, certainly some wind damage and hail as well over into Polk County, so we have to watch out for that. There was a severe actually a tornado warning in that area earlier in the day yesterday, and so we'll continue to watch that. Had hail reports as well, but again, the most significant has been down into parts of Coweta County, Newnan in particular, where we saw that live live presser there into Newnan. We saw where this tornado went through that area. So lots of damage being reported, lots of trees down. They talked about the historic area there where a lot of those houses have went through plenty of storms through the years, but now experiencing some of the damage from this particular tornado. And this was given an emergency placed by the National Weather Service. And so typically when that takes place, you're talking about catastrophic damage, and that is lining up with what we're seeing in some of the reports that are coming out of there from emergency management. So far, one confirmed death in Coweta County. It wasn't in Newnan, at least that's what Chief Wilson has stated. It wasn't in the city of Newnan, but it was in the county where that took place. And so more reports will come out about that. The particulars will come out about that. But so far, one life lost there. And another key thing that they were saying there is that when they look at all the damage, they are really blessed and surprised that there wasn't more injuries with this. And so that lets me know that people have been paying attention to the forecast and were rather ready. Typically when storms like this happen at night, and this catastrophic at that, you really start to hear about a lot more injuries, a lot more fatalities take place like that, because storms happening at night, you're really not able to see what's coming your way. Right? You can only really hear what's coming your way, or you kind of go to bed at night, you shut everything down, and then you go off to sleep, and then something strikes your home, especially a tornado this size, strikes your home, and that could lead to some injuries and maybe even some fatalities. We saw where a church had been suffering some very severe damage. Jerry Carnes was showing us that earlier. Jerry, do you have any new information about that church where you are?
Well, the church is maybe a quarter mile that way from where we are right now. I walked across a street and discovered this. This is Savannah Street here, just off of downtown Newnan. You see this tree, giant tree that has downed these power lines here, completely blocking Savannah Street. A lot of damage to homes around here. As a matter of fact, if you look right there, you see the tree that is covering this road. It has hit a home there. It has fortunately just clipped it. And so you've got damage to the right corner of that home. But if you look this way, basically this whole street has some kind of damage. There's another oak tree that is probably quite old that is down. And right to the right of that is a home with some roof damage, some shingles basically blown off. It's not too bad. Further down Savannah Street, as you move toward downtown and toward that church that we were telling you about earlier, that's where you'll find several homes with damaged trees that have hit it. Let's go up this way. I'm not sure the name of this street because the street sign is now looks like Robinson Street. There you see more damage, more trees on power lines, more trees that have clipped homes. Most of the trees are in the backyards of homes around here. As a matter of fact, like, let's just walk around this way, and you can see to our left the backyard of several homes right here and the trees that have fallen there. This is just what you see everywhere as you walk around this area of Newnan. Again, we are just off of downtown. We are a short distance from the church that you were talking about that has extensive damage. The entire roof blown off. Not the entire roof, but large chunks of that roof have fallen off. There is water damage on the inside. We saw a lot of books that have been ruined. We saw music equipment that has been destroyed. And so that church, more than likely, it's an old building, used to be a Dodge dealership and has been used by a couple of churches. And the minister told us that he doubts seriously that they're going to be able to afford to rebuild and move back in. So they'll probably, this Easter Sunday, go to online church as they have been doing in the past. Again, let's take a look right back here. You see the trees that are down. Some of them have clipped homes. And to my left, extensive damage. This is back down Robinson Street. Right back down here, you can see the line with trees down, and you see how they're twisted, Chesley, at the top. And that is a definite sign of a tornado. And then large pieces of tree have come down. And yet then, on the other hand, you see homes with no damage whatsoever. Somehow they missed it. Take a look at that tree. That is an old hardwood that is just splintered right there. And then back behind that, a home with a tree on top of it, damaging the roof badly. So here in this area, we haven't heard reports of anyone that was injured. Everybody is giving good reports on that aspect of it, but these are folks that are going to be cleaning up for quite some time. A lot of roof damage, a lot of damage to homes that have to be repaired.
Jerry, let's go back to those trees twisted. Now, you've been covering weather for a long time. Judging on your assessment, right? You got the twisting of those trees. Do we have debris everywhere? I see a roof behind you. That roof is at least 20% of that is gone. How would you assess the path? Was it a nice path there, or do you see just chunks of damage around?
No, there was definitely a path, because to the to the west of me, that's downtown, and of course you had that severely damaged, and we are right in line with that. So it would have been traveling from the west, moving east, right through this area, and as you continue down this way to the east, you see more and more damage. So I would definitely say that this had a very definitive path to it. As we made our way south down toward Newnan, you could see where the damage began right at downtown, and then there's just this line of it from downtown all the way right through this area right here. I see a tree with a large root right there. I mean, these are big trees that are uprooted, and then a lot of them with that twisting snapped at the top with that very definitive tornado signature, Chesley.
Yeah, more likely it was a tornado. And I see a lot of people out and about, Jerry. Are those the people from the neighborhood assessing damage, or are those folks trying to get to where they're going?
Yes. I think it's a combination of people trying to get where they're going. There are some neighbors out, a lot of neighbors out, and then you've got people, of course, just trying to come through and look at the damage, which, of course, Newnan police are advising you not to do that. Don't get in here and clog things up any worse than they are. But a lot of neighbors are out, and in fact, I hear the distinct sound of a chainsaw trying to cut through this tree back behind me here that has clipped that house right back there. So when we talked to the minister of the church, despite the damage to his building, he says he's going to be out a little bit later this morning to help people with his chainsaw, trying his best to get people back on their feet.
You haven't heard of anyone injured in that area, have you? Talking to some of the neighbors?
Haven't heard of any, not in this area. We asked around, we asked several neighbors, and they said that they didn't know anybody in the area where I am right now, just east of downtown. They don't know of anybody injured here.
Good deal. Jerry Carnes out in Newnan. Really appreciate your reporting, Jerry. We know you're going to move locations and we'll see more of that damage. Thanks for bringing it to us. Really appreciate that. So Jerry showing us the path in which that storm took right on through the Newnan area. He was saying he was just to the west of, or actually to the east of the downtown area, and so it moved right through there, and that path continued on. And typically that's what you look for. You look for a path. He explained how we saw the twisting in the trees. You saw how some of the bark of the tree is still up, but it was snapped. That's another good sign that there was a tornado in that particular area. Very widespread too, widespread as far as the damage. That lines up with what we saw on the radar as that storm moved through, where the National Weather Service gave that an emergency tornado warning, and that typically means catastrophic damage, and that's what we've been seeing, and that's what the reports have been showing us so far. Again, one fatality so far in the Coweta County area. We're expecting to get more information on that, but emergency management says they thought they fared very well considering the amount of damage that has taken place, and not a lot of injury reports. And you even heard from Jerry Carnes right there, a lot of neighbors out and about, and no one reporting any injury so far. Hopefully people will stay safe, because injuries still happen typically when people get out trying to assess damage, because you have power lines down, you have trees kind of still teetering or whatever the case may be, and you hear about that falling on. So people will stay safe. And as you heard from the mayor down there in Newnan, Mayor Keith Bradley, saying that if you don't have to be out, don't go out. Let the crews do what they need to do. Get in there, assess some of the damage. There's still power outages in that area as well, so power crews will be around assessing some of that damage and starting to fix some of the power lines there as well. We had power outages throughout the state, not only down there in Coweta County, but some of our westernmost counties experiencing some of those power outages as well, and they're working hard to try to get the power back on. If you're just waking up this morning or just starting to figure out, hey, what's going on around your area, take a look at our radar. It does show us that most of those thunderstorms are pushing a little bit further down to the south of our area, and so that's a good sign. They are starting to intensify a little bit as they push into the central portions of the state, but at least they're moving out of the forecast area. If you take a look over there toward Heard County, in fact, I'll come over to the wall and point it out to you real quickly here. Here is where we saw that very catastrophic tornado move into. It started out over in Alabama, moved into Heard County, and then eventually into Coweta County and further up toward Fayette County. But it's right here in Heard County that we've been experiencing some of that, or at least been seeing some of the damage. That's where you find Joe Ripley. He's been out there all morning long, waiting for the sun to rise to bring us some reports. Joe, how's it looking right now?
Come right to you in just a second.
All right. Yes. Good morning. We can show you a little bit more of the damage here in Heard County. As you take a look to my left here, you can see this tree uprooted, bringing down power lines with it. And this is where it landed, from one neighbor's yard to another neighbor's home here, and it destroyed it. This woman, lucky to be alive right now. I've got with me Simone Baldwin. Simone, talk to me about how you made it out during the storm.
During the storm, my late husband was passed away now with the military. He always told me if I hear a train and there's no train, to run. Seconds I've been in this bathroom, what is my master bedroom. I just ran to the other place over there, and but it was still far away. I still could make a stop in the bathroom.
And you've got some of your husband's mementos here with you. You were able to salvage those?
I was, and this is about the only thing I have. Everything out, and here's my cat Fleur. What made it too? If it wouldn't be for the cats leading me the way, because they actually did run to the bedroom, and I ran with them. They under the bed, and I'm in the bed with the mattress over me, and just praying.
And a young man was able to help you out, knock on your door and lead you outside of the home.
Because I was screaming over the place. The house was filled of gas, because this is the main gas line over here broke, and I could hear the gas hissing. And I said, I need to get out of here. I don't want to be blown away like the movie. Blown away. And he couldn't come. He couldn't come because it was still going on. The tornado was, we could see it. It was 20 feet from here. You could see it. You could see the picture of the spiral. And so he finally came and he took the debris away from the door, and since it was so of gas, he just took me on the arm and pulled me out. Of course, I've been back in after the gas shut off, because I didn't want to get my cats being in a gas chamber and dying.
Absolutely. Simone, I know you're very lucky. You told me you were blessed to be alive this morning. As you see down the street, you can see in that lime green safety vest, that is Heard County Fire and EMS Chief Steve Worth, just telling me the scope of the work that will have to be done today, surveying the damage, having to clean up. Of course, we will bring you the latest developments out of Heard County here, but want to send things back to you after hearing this harrowing rescue story, and fortunately no injuries reported here in Heard County.
Wow. Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe. Really appreciate that. Continue to stay safe down there as well. Thanks for the reports. There you go, folks. A lot of fortunate incidents happening, but a lot of catastrophic things happening as well, as far as the property goes, as far as structures goes down there, and more coming in as we speak. And I think it will, even though we're kind of concentrating right now on the Coweta County area and Heard County area, I think we'll be seeing more as we go through the day today. Maybe not as strong or maybe not as severe as what's taking place down to the south, but I think we'll be seeing more and hearing about more of those reports as we head through the day today. It's over as far as the rainfall goes. It's over as far as the severe weather goes for us today, at least. Most of that now pushing down to the south. We started as early as about I'd say about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. That's when we started seeing some of the severe thunderstorm warnings popping up to our west, over into our far northwest, places like Dade, Walker County, into Chattooga County, into Floyd County, and then eventually making their way down to the south. Caught a brief break for a little while, and then we knew that front would have to move through the area. And once that front got close enough, we started seeing those thunderstorms really start to amp up a little bit. Ironically, we talked about those storms last week. We knew the difference this week was that we didn't have the wedge that would be holding on And so that wedge broke down. We had that warm, moist air begin to move in. We were between the warm and the cold front. And so that really sparked off a lot of those thunderstorms. Our neighbors to the west under a high threat, a high risk for severe thunderstorms. And we saw that over into parts of Alabama, where at least 8 reports of tornadoes, and we saw some of the damage over there. Very devastating. Those thunderstorms and tornadoes held together, making it over into our neck of the woods. In fact, the one that we were talking about here, now where Joe was, moved into Heard County just after about 11 o'clock, maybe a little bit after 11 o'clock. That started out in Alabama. Could be considered a long track tornado. Now, one of the things we know about tornadoes is that they don't stay on the ground. They tend to jump. In Jerry's report, he talked about how there was some widespread damage, but then you had houses that, you get a row of houses at least, where you got damage on each house, and then you get a house that seemingly wasn't touched at all. If you think about tornadoes, they're almost like spinning tops. If you ever threw a spin, I know it's an old school toy, right? But if you ever threw a spinning top on the ground, when it first hits the ground, it kind of jumps around a little bit. And that's the same thing. Tornadoes don't typically stay on the ground, they jump around, all right? It's because of that jumping or lifting off of the Earth's surface that we say typically when it strikes a structure, it's going to hit the roof first, right? And really begin to pull that off. And then we start to see more of the damage begin to take place. And so we've been seeing that consistently down here to the south. Christy, you got more on the power outages so far this morning.
I do, and I actually have some good news. Chesley, it is getting better by the minute. Now that we have daylight, crews are able to see a little bit better. Most of the severe weather is out of the area, which means they can get in and start to fix and repair and restore these outages. Right now, if we're looking statewide at all providers, there are still a little over 14,000 households without power. So it is still a pretty hefty number, but considering a couple of hours ago we were sitting at more than 17,000 households without power, that's an improvement, I would say, wouldn't you? Most of those power outages are coming from Georgia Power customers. Right now, about 10,800 households, Georgia Power customers are without power this morning. But again, I keep refreshing this page, and every couple of minutes, 100 here, 100 there get restored. So as you stay patient this morning, crews are working really hard. They brought in crews from other areas of the state that aren't dealing with as much damage as we are here around the metro to help restore all of these outages. Still, the counties that are dealing with the most at this point, still Fulton County, about 2,900 households without power. Coweta County, you're down to about 1,800, about 1,900 households without power, at least for Georgia Power customers. Bartow County, still more than 2,000 households without power. But Henry County, good news there. We were sitting at 1,500 households without power. Now that number is down to just over 150 households. So crews really are working. You can see the progress that's happening this morning. It definitely helps when you've got some. Okay, it sounds like we have someone on the line with us right now. Someone who is with Coweta Fayette County EMC. Shelly, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, happy to be here.
Hey, so I know you guys have been out working since the middle of the night, even when it was dark. How were your crews able to get out there so quickly to start helping restore power?
Of course, we have standby crews that are always ready in case anything happens, like overnight and that kind of thing. And so we were able to get them out and get started once it was safe enough for them to begin working.
Okay, and Chelly, it looks like right now, within the last 10 minutes at least, Coweta County has about 1,200 outages according to the Coweta Fayette EMC outage map. Also a few in Fayette and a few in Heard. To me, it looks like Heard jumped up in the last hour. Is this a situation you're seeing where it could get worse in some places before it gets better?
Sometimes it has to be that they have to isolate some areas to be able to do some work in that, and that may be what you're seeing in that. But our hardest hit area is definitely West Coweta, and that includes the areas of like Smoky Road, Corinth, J.D. Walton Road, Charlie B. Johnson Road, Bruce Jackson, Andrew Bailey, and Belk Road. We know that there's significant damage in that area. They've already identified over 60 broken poles, and so a lot of debris that they're having to work through to be able to make these repairs too.
What exactly does it take to be able to make these repairs? Because it's not as simple as just connecting the power back on. When you've got a pole that is snapped in half, and you just said at least 60 broken poles, what does it take to actually repair that?
So there's a lot of work that goes into it. First, you have to remove anything that's left from the damaged pole, and then, of course, you have to have the new pole, reset it. That means digging the hole, getting it in there, setting up the framing for it, rewiring. And what we're finding is a lot of the wiring is not reusable because it's all twisted up and damaged in other places. So it's basically like building places back from scratch. We are very lucky that we've been able to bring in additional crews from some of our sister co-ops, including Snapping Shoals, Greystone Power, Southern Rivers, and Carroll EMC. So we've got a bunch of feet on the ground and working to make those repairs as fast as possible.
In addition to all the crews that came in, how many linemen would you say are out currently working to restore power right now?
I would say will be close to 750 or so crews working in those areas, counting the ones that we have coming in from outside help right now.
Chelly, you went a little muffled there on the line. Can you say that one more time about how many linemen you think are out working right now?
Sure. I think we have about 150 or so in the field right now, and that's including some of the ones that we called in from our sister co-ops that are helping us.
Okay, got it. So right now, we just listened to a news conference from several public safety officials who said linemen are having trouble, at least in the Coweta County area, doing their jobs because people are out surveying the damage, trying to drive around them. Are your linemen having trouble? What would help us help them get the power back on?
Absolutely. We would totally urge people to stay away from those areas if possible, for their safety and for our crew's safety. With any storm like this where you have downed lines, there's always the danger that they could still be energized even though they might be laying on the ground. So keeping people out of the way so that our crews are able to travel the roads and actually work in those areas, and also for the safety of the people that are out there, not knowing what they might encounter if they drive over these lines or reach out and touch some of those. It's just best that they stay away if possible.
And I've been monitoring your map all morning long, so it looks like it is updating in real time. How many households have you gotten restored overnight?
At the height of the outage, we had about 6,000 out, so we've made significant progress. We're down to about 1,200 right now at the last count, and it does update. So our members and anybody interested can check by going to utility.org. We have a live outage map that they can see the areas where, like where the outages are and where people are working.
Okay, wow. Thanks to the linemen who have been out there all night long working on all of this. And of course, here's the one question everybody wants to know: if they still are without power, do you have any estimated time when all the households will have their power back?
It's going to be a slow process today because of the time it takes to repair all the broken poles and that kind of thing. So if they're in that heavy hit area, it's going to be several hours. But we will actually be out there and we'll be working along with our help that we have brought in until the last person is restored today.
Is there any chance that we could go into the overnight hours and even tomorrow with people still experiencing no power?
There is a chance it could go into the evening. We're hoping that it doesn't go any farther than that.
Okay, perfect. Chelly Phillips with Coweta and Fayette EMC, thanks so much for being with us and updating us this morning.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. I hope all of your linemen stay safe. We very much appreciate them, and we know everybody wants to... tell me again where we're going? We know everybody wants their power back on. That is for sure. All right, Lauren, tell me where we're going next. All right, Chesley, this is everything.
All right, let's do it, folks. We've been out here warning you what's been taking place. And Christy, I think a lot of people have heeded the warning. I think we got out of this early, stating the potential for the severe weather in our particular area. This has been 2 weeks, or at least last week around the same time, and then again today, this one being a little bit more severe than the last one. But I think people, especially our viewers, very weather wise, because this could have been a very terrible situation, especially with it happening through the overnight. This is not like what takes place out west over toward Kansas and Oklahoma, where they have very flat land and you can see tornadoes very far off, that kind of thing. We have a lot of trees around. Plus, a lot of our tornadoes wind up being rain wrapped. And so seeing that at night can really be hard. all right? And experiencing that at night can really be hard on us. You heard one of our interviewees say with Joe Ripley that she was told to listen to what sounds like a train. Typically when you hear those winds blowing back and forth, it sounds like a locomotive, kind of a train sound. And so typically when people hear that, they take cover. That's very wise, and I think a lot of people were doing that because we have so much damage, and we haven't been hearing a lot of reports of injuries, which is as many people have been stating on our show so far this morning, calling it a blessing, right? You're looking at the rain so far pushing a little bit further down to the south. Here's our southernmost counties here. You're talking about Putnam and Jasper County, where we have in the southern portions of those counties some very heavy rain coming down. The lightning strikes are starting to subside just a little bit, but we still have some lightning strikes around down toward Red Oak. That's where it starts to get a little bit numerous, but that's heading a little bit further down toward the Macon area. Up toward Covington right now, into Henry County. You got some light rain around along I-75 down toward Locust Grove as well. Over toward Spalding County, Griffith, you got some light rain. That's going to continue. I think this light rain, at least down here to the south, will continue off and on as we head through early afternoon. Our northernmost counties will begin to clear out a little bit, maybe get some sunshine in as we head into the afternoon. Concord, Barnesville, got the light rain. I think your severe weather threat is over for you as well. Back off to the west of us, LaGrange, finally starting to see some of that rain pushed down to the southern portions of Troup County. Meriwether County as well, from the central and southern portions of the state, the county rather. You also are looking at that light rain. Numerous reports already came in because this severe weather started, if you recall, yesterday afternoon in our area. We saw that hail first. A lot of folks sending us those hail pictures, sending us hail video. Wind damage was reported, of course, and then we had a couple tornadoes in the area as well. But again, so far, the strongest so far has been down here to the south, moving into Heard County first, over toward Franklin. That's where you see that little red icon right there. Then over toward the Newnan area, which is where we've been reporting so far this morning, a lot of the damage there. As the sun has begun to rise, been able to see a lot of that, and then heading over here toward, or at least ending over toward, close to Peachtree City, as you can see. And that started a little bit, or at least came into the state a little bit after 11 p.m. and really didn't wind down to closer to 1 a.m. And so this could have been, and so far it was proving to be, one of those long track tornadoes where it started out in Alabama and then moved into our state and kept going, at least almost up into the central portions of the state, almost over toward the east. And so at least it's the only one so far that we've heard a report of. There could have been more tornadoes in our area, and of course the National Weather Service will get out and assess that and bring us the latest on that report, judging based off of what we've seen so far. And we do have a meteorologist, Melissa Nord, out there. We can tell at least that all the signs are there that we had a tornado. When we were watching it on the radar, the signs were there, right? And so at least we'll get confirmation a little bit later on this afternoon and tonight. And those reports may be ongoing, because there's so much damage around. It's going to be a little hard to get to every single location, and so we'll be hearing about that as we go along. All right, I understand we're going to, is it Mara? Mara is downtown Newnan, which we heard, and I don't know if you heard this, Mara, but some of the officials were saying that to them was one of the hardest hit areas in the Newnan area.
Hey, Chesley, that's right. So we were downtown. We've actually moved over. This is the Whitlock Park area right now. This is where those officials actually just held that press conference around 8:30 this morning. They gave us an update. They couldn't really tell us much because the sun had just come up, and so they were actually about to head out and about onto the roadways and assess more of the damage. But what they did tell us, a recap from overnight, a lot of impassable roads, a lot of downed trees, a number of gas leaks, and they also confirmed one fatality in the county. So they could not give us additional details on that fatality. That's information that we could learn more. They are having another press conference update around 11 o'clock this morning. We learned there is significant damage to Newnan High School. One of the gas leaks occurred there, and also a lot of damage in that area, surrounding neighborhoods in that area as well. And so really they spent much of the overnight and early morning hours knocking door to door in that area, those roads around the high school and around that historic downtown area. And those officials, Newnan city. The mayor was here. He said that they're working tirelessly. It's going to be a long road ahead. A lot of work today, certainly, to get the city back to where it was, of course, before the storm, before things were destroyed. And really what they're asking right now is for folks, if you don't have to be on the roadways, to stay at home and stay off these roadways. A lot of people are going into these neighborhoods to assess damage for themselves and take photos and post to social media. He's really asking you not to do that. Another thing that they are saying thank you for is the help from other surrounding agencies and also from Governor Kemp's office. Take a listen.
GEMA and the governor's office has been kind. They've sent all the resources down we've needed. We've had immense support from our surrounding agencies and counties and partners. So we just can't thank everyone enough.
And they couldn't give us information on exactly how many people were injured. The good news is, though, no reports of entrapment or anything like that. But again, they're going door to door at this point in those areas and making sure that no elderly folks are injured or trapped. And so we're expected to get another update from them around 11 o'clock this morning right here. If more rain comes, they'll move it inside. But of course, I'll be here. We'll be tracking these developments, driving around the county as well and the city of Newnan, and we'll bring you the very latest on air and online as well. Chesley.
Martin, did they give you any additional information about that fatality, or are we still trying to find out more information about that?
Coweta Fire Chief Pat Wilson's the one who gave us that information. I asked if he knew man or woman. Was it storm related? What area of the county? He said at this point he doesn't have any of that information, at least that he can share with us until they kind of gather more about it and make that information public. So that's something that we could learn at 11 o'clock this morning, but he did confirm there was one fatality overnight.
All right, thanks a lot, Mara. Really appreciate that. Stay safe down there and continue to bring us those good reports. Appreciate you. All right, let's go over to Jerry Carnes, who was, I believe he was just to the west of the city of Newnan and reporting on a lot of damage over there. Jerry, what you got now?
Downtown, Chesley, and as you can see, Robinson Street here, trees down everywhere. We cannot get to Vernita White's home because it is buried under trees. But
it is buried under trees. Our cars are buried under trees. There's power lines down everywhere. Last night there was a gas leak. We couldn't get through to the 911, so everybody just tried to grab everybody on the street, and we just walked off the street because we didn't know. It was live power lines and gas. So we just tried to grab everybody on our street and just get them off.
And you were asleep?
Yes, I was asleep. I heard the wind, I heard the roaring, and I ran to my husband, and we just grabbed each other and got in the hallway. And tree fell through the house, on the roof, on the cars, but just glad we're alive. That's all that we know, and we're glad that there were no fatalities.
Do you look at your home now, what's left of it, and think, how did I make it out of there?
Yes, yes. And miraculously, when the tree fell, it knocked over my TV and my pictures off the wall, but my fishes still live.
It's amazing when things like that happen.
Yes, and so happily, those are the fishes that I had when I lost my grandkids in a fire.
Oh my gosh,
7 years ago.
You have been through it.
Yes, so to be alive, I'm blessed.
You certainly are. Where do you go from here?
Just try to pick up the pieces that we have and just go on. I have my kids and I have my husband. We have family. So, and plus we did have insurance. So we should be okay, hopefully. But like I said, right now it's just hard to see.
God bless you. You do have your life. You've got your husband. You've got your kids, as you say. So you've been through a lot.
Yes.
We'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vernita.
Thank you.
Wow. Vernita White with quite a story there. Oh, my goodness. She's been through a couple of tragic losses and filled with grief. Again, this is Robinson Street. Well, the trucks have now pulled in front here, but there are just trees down everywhere. There are trees this way. Jefferson, can you swing around this way? You can see a home right there clipped by a tree, a good-sized tree. They were over there with some chainsaws moments ago trying to cut that one up, and I guess it was just a little too much for them. But there's chainsaws this way. There are just crews everywhere out in this area, and a lot of traffic. The Newnan Police Department has asked folks to stay off the streets. Of course, a lot of people are out trying to get from one place to another, but there are some who are just out here just to see the damage, and they're filling up the streets, and that's not a good thing. And police have asked that folks do their best to stay off the streets, just stay inside. All down Savannah Street right here, it's difficult for you to spin around that way, Jefferson, but if you can see trees down in front yards, trees down in backyards. Well, right here, you can see a pretty good size oak that's down. There's damage to that home. Now, Vernita's house, the woman that we were just speaking with, Jefferson, if you swing that way, her home, you see the home with the roof damage right there, and then you see the trees back behind it. Her home is on the street right back there, and as of a little while ago, you could not get there because of the trees and power lines that are down. So that's the situation here in this part of Newnan. Again, we are just west of the downtown area. Downtown heavily damaged. There's a church just to my right that most of the roof is gone, and there's heavy damage inside, water damage to, well, just about everything in there, including musical instruments. And talked to the minister a little bit earlier, and he tells us that they just think it's a total loss. It's not even worth trying to repair it. So that's what folks are going through here, Chesley, as we continue to survey what's going on in this part of Newnan.
All right, Jerry, I noticed that the activity is really starting to pick up where you are. There's a lot of people out on the roads, a lot of cars out there as well. Are you seeing the people that are at least walking, are the ones displaced from their homes?
Some of them, a great many of them, are folks who have lost their homes. Some others are folks who are here to help. Newnan is a tight-knit community. And when things like this happen, when someone suffers, usually the community gets together and they help. And in fact, that's what the pastor at the church was telling us, is that even though there's damage to his church, he plans to go get a chainsaw and travel around and help members of his congregation, as well as others, as well as people he doesn't know. In fact, he had the chainsaw in the back of his truck as we were speaking to him. So that's just what happens here. You hear the chainsaws. They are roaring all around. In fact, my friend who was trying earlier to cut this big oak down, he is back at it over there. That is a big one. Fortunate that it didn't go directly into that home. Instead, just kind of clipped the corner there. But yeah, a lot of people getting out, Chesley, some of them just out here to look. And that's what Newnan police want to avoid.
Yeah, understandable. Very understandable. Jerry, really appreciate that report. Thanks a lot. Wow, you heard Anita's story there. Unbelievable. And we're getting more and more stories of people who had catastrophic damage to their homes, but they all made it out safely. And that is the good news in all this. Property can be replaced, as we all know, but it's hard to, you can't replace a life. And so fortunately, we're hearing more and more reports of people getting out safely. And there is a shelter that is open, or at least they're serving food at the Newnan Center down there in parts of Newnan. Let's head over one county to Heard County. Joe Ripley standing by, who brought us another story of a young lady who was miraculously saved from her home. Joe, what is that behind you? What is that in the road behind you?
What is that behind me? Well, this is part of the hardest hit area, according to Heard County Fire and EMS Chief Steve Worth. Behind me, you can see part of a carport that, if you zoom in, you can see it snapped, mangled, twisted around that power pole. And then you move a little bit over to the right there, up on that hill. That's where some of it landed. You can see it looks like a great fraction of it landed on top of that hill, was thrown by this presumed tornado that blew through Heard County. And then you look on down the street and we can see even more debris, part of that carport, along with several trees littered in the road here on Newnan Street here in Franklin. Heard County, again, is the community we're in. We've also seen neighbors coming out, rallying together, and just taking it all in, taking stock of everything they woke up to. Some people didn't even get a wink of sleep last night, so they're just glad. That's the theme, it seems like this morning. They're glad to be alive. Yes, they lost property. Yes, there's destruction all around them. There's street signs littered in neighbors' yards. There's parts of roofs and shingles torn off, even trees into homes, but no injuries reported. That is the fortunate part. We've seen families come and rally together and just take care of one another, looking after one another here. That is certainly some good news, despite all of the damage we've heard about today. Another word of caution, too, you'll see a lot of these down power lines, and utility crews are working as hard as they can to get those up to restore power as quickly as possible, but they're asking folks to be careful when you walk around. Don't go near any down power lines as they might still be active, Chesley. Just a word of caution if you're up and at them today, but still several hundred here without power. Starting to hear the chainsaws, though, Chesley, so that's certainly some good news when it comes to progress and getting this mess cleaned up and getting, of course, power restored and life somewhat back to normal for these folks.
All right, so Joe, just quickly want to ask you this. Now, where Jerry is out there in Newnan and where the rest of our crews are there, we got a lot of activity going on. I just saw somebody walk by you. Are you starting to see the activity pick up? Are people now starting to get out a little bit and assess some of that damage around you?
Yeah, and it's really sinking in, Chesley. You know, when we first got back here, we went a couple of streets over just to see the full extent of the damage, and this area here seems to be the nucleus, the epicenter of the severe weather that struck here in Heard County, according to the fire chief we heard from earlier. But folks are starting to get out. We see a crew right behind the camera here. Boise, I'm not sure if you can swing over. I guess they're coming down the road here. They are loaded. They've got a couple chainsaws. They've got coffee in hand. They are ready to get to work here this morning. As my photographer here, Stephen Boise, does a terrific job. You can see the chainsaws coming here. Let's see if we can get a word with these folks as well. Hey guys, how's it going? What are you guys doing out today?
Checking on my family.
This is your family here.
The one in this house.
How are they doing?
They're good. They're good.
You've got some folks armed with chainsaws out here. What do y'all plan to do?
I think they're going to help cut some of the trees down.
Are they going to go down the street as well?
I believe so.
Can you describe this community and how the severe weather just really impacted all of y'all here?
Well, we're a tight community anyway, so everybody's cared about everybody, so...
This is a task certainly that takes a community, right? That takes a village to clean up, and it's incredible that no one was reportedly injured. We've seen trees fall into homes, trees fall right beside homes. This church behind you here had several trees fall, but the fact that no one was hurt in all this, what do you make of that?
It's amazing. God pretty much played a hand in it.
You've got 3 chainsaws here. You've got some I guess some fuel for it as well, some coffees as well. How do you approach the next few days ahead knowing that this mess lies before you?
Just helping rebuild, get everything back to normal.
Do you live close by? Do you remember your experience last night with the storm?
I do live close, but it wasn't near as bad at my house as it was here.
Just taking this all in, what do you make that your family is still alive, but also just seeing the extent of the damage here?
Oh, it's just amazing that they're all okay, because the sound of it at my house was horrible, so I can just imagine what they went through.
What did it sound like to you?
Oh, it just sounded like a freight train coming through, so it was pretty rough.
You're not the only one who said that. What kind of words of encouragement, of support can you offer for folks here as well as in Newnan, where unfortunately we heard of one fatality there?
Oh, no. Just that, everybody will be praying for everybody, and we hope we can all get back and rebuild.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You heard there from just community members helping family members, helping strangers clean up what they can. You see them with chainsaws. They're ready to work. They're ready to get back to normal and clean up what they can, because this mess will take a lot to clean up. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time, but you can see the attitudes here, just grateful for the ability to lean on each other and to lean on their community, to lean on their family here as they take in and process all of the damage left behind by this severe storm.
Joe Ripley down in Franklin, or near Franklin in Heard County. Really appreciate that report, and thank that young lady for speaking to us today to tell us about her experience. That has been a theme as well. Neighbors helping neighbors, coming out of other counties to help, family helping out. It's just been good to hear that. Really good to hear that. All right, Christy, going to talk us back over to you with the very latest.
Yeah, you can definitely get the sense of community in Coweta County and in Newnan. We've had some incredibly emotional interviews this morning, a briefing from public safety officials and crews from like the sheriff, the mayor, all coming together explaining the very latest. Let's all take a deep breath and let's just go over for a moment what we know. So last night, a pretty extensive, what we believe to be a tornado. Crews will confirm that based on damage reports this morning. But what we believe to be a pretty catastrophic tornado came through Newnan and Coweta County and several other counties in the metro last night. And overnight, people were huddled in their bathrooms, huddled underneath mattresses, and listening to the sound of a freight train come toward their homes. Overnight, we started getting reports of damage, and thanks to our crews who were able to safely navigate around downed trees and lines, and using their car headlights were able to give us some first reports of damage. Now that we have some daylight, here's what we know, that at least out of Coweta County, the areas that seem to be hardest hit are over by Newnan High School. We did confirm that the high school is damaged, and right now all Coweta County schools are closed today. No virtual learning either, which is probably good because without power in a lot of areas, that also means no Wi-Fi. So we don't know what this means. Since it is a Friday, they'll have the weekend to kind of assess the damage. Closed today. We don't know yet about Monday, but as soon as we get word, we'll let you know. Historic downtown Newnan also got hit pretty hard. A lot of damage in that area over by LaGrange Street and Smoky Road within the county. For the most part, people seem to be okay. We did get one report of a fatality, one person killed, but we don't know much information. We asked when the public safety officials were there giving us that live news conference, but they weren't able to tell us much either. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. All we know right now is that it was within the county lines, not within the city, but within Coweta County, but they can't even release any kind of location yet, so we're waiting on that. Right now, the most important thing is for you to stay off the road still as linemen work to get the power back on. And Jerry, you had an incredibly emotional interview. Jerry is in Newnan, in Coweta County. He's been talking to people who live there who are assessing the damage to their homes. Jerry, I'm still struck by what the woman said to you. She had been through so much already, and now people are looking at their homes amazed that they are still alive to see it this morning.
Yes, I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the chainsaws. That's expected after a tornado and after this much damage, but we are on Robinson Street. We are just across the street from the home of Vanita White that we spoke with earlier. She was in tears as she described how a tree came down through her home as she was asleep, but she survived, her husband survived, and she is okay. I'm now at the home of Daniel Coffey. You see the tree here, it fell. This is Daniel, and that's Daniel's car right back there. Salvageable or no?
Not sure at this point. And my Harley is under the tree, and I don't know if it's totaled or not either.
You are okay.
Our family's okay.
Your daughter is okay. Talk about, she was down the street a couple of houses.
My mother-in-law lives 2 houses down, and we all, like most of us, got the alert on our phones, and they went into the safe area, and about 2 minutes later, a tree that if I bear hugged would take 3 of me to grab it, went right through and crushed her room, right across her bed. Right now I'm thanking God for her safety and that we have this emergency system that alerts people, because without that, I'd be having a funeral right now.
But she made it out.
She's fine.
She heard that alert.
She's
and she
actually
made it
here in our home right now. We didn't get any major damage to our house, just vehicles and a lot of trees down, but there's a lot of devastation here. A lot of houses that took roofs off and smashed through. It's going to take, I'm an electrician by trade, and I speculate it's going to be at least 5 days or more before we get power back on out here at the earliest.
What was the time period between when she heard that alert and when that tree, does she know how long it took?
It was probably 2 minutes when she got out of her room, and it smashed her room and smashed the my mother-in-law's whole, she's got a big master bath, and it just destroyed everything. Her house is flooded right now from all the rain after the tornado. But
so had she not reacted right away,
she would be gone. She would be gone.
Well, so you've got a lot to be thankful for despite being surrounded
Amen.
by a lot of devastation.
Amen. Thank God.
Well, thank you. God bless you, sir. Thank you so
you.
much. That's Daniel Coffey again. His daughter just right up the street and just barely made it out of her room before a tree came crashing down there. 2 minutes approximately between the time that the alarm sounded telling people to take shelter and the time that tree fell. All around me, I'm just surrounded by trees down, by damaged homes, and we'll keep surveying and keep bringing you these stories.
Hearing how close that was. He spoke about the emergency. Was that a system of tornado sirens that were going off, or was it an emergency alert system on the phone that they had signed up for? I know that'll be important for people to know and make sure they have.
A siren
alert on the phone.
Did you hear sirens, Daniel?
After it got quiet. We heard after
you could hear it after that. Yeah, it was an alert on her phone, and then after that, the storm sirens. It was probably so noisy with the tornado coming through that you couldn't hear the storm sirens. So that alert on her phone, that's what saved her, and that's why it's important for everybody to download one and have that by your bed.
Oh,
I think this is just a striking example of why that's so important.
It is, and that's why, these storms that happen overnight in the dead of night when most people are asleep, that's why they can be so dangerous. I am so glad for Mr. Coffey and for his daughter.
Yes.
Thank you for that interview, and we wish them the best of luck as they clean up this morning. Oh man. Where do you go from there? A lot of people thankful this morning, even though looking at the damage across the area does feel a little overwhelming. It can be hard to know where do we go from here when you see the scope of the damage. So many power lines tangled up in the branches, heavy pieces of metal wrapped around trees as if it's Play-Doh, and a lot of devastation. Houses with roofs ripped off, people not having a place to make breakfast this morning, not having a place to sleep tonight. Actually, that is 2 important resources that you need to know about right now. They are feeding people at Newnan Center this morning. If you know someone who needs some food, that is a good place to go. Also, there is a temporary shelter set up at Evans Middle School. They are working with the Red Cross to help people who need somewhere dry to go right now, who may have extensive damage to their homes. If you need that, or if you know someone who does, pass that information along. And then if you can, stay off the roads if it's safe for you to stay home. Try and avoid the area while emergency crews get through, clear the roads, and linemen get to those power poles and lines to try and replace it and restore power. Okay, we will keep updating this as we learn more and get more of those emotional interviews. But in the meantime, Chesley, you're still watching the radar. Anything active right now?
Well, we do have a few thunderstorms down to the south. We've been watching that, and the good news is that things will start to get a little bit better for us. It's down here in the central and the southern portions of the state that we'll see the severe weather threat for today. In fact, we're starting to see those. We already started to see those thunderstorms begin to amp up just a little bit, but now just moving just south of our viewing area down toward the Macon area. You can see our north already starting to clear out up there to the north, where we had the storms during the afternoon yesterday. So it started there. High pressure is building in back behind this high pressure system. Our winds out of the northwest ahead of this front. You can see the winds out of the south. And so that's going to be our trend as we head through the afternoon. Now, I do think we're going to hold on to the clouds, though. I think we'll just see a mix of sun and clouds for this afternoon. Once again, the severe weather threat today will be a little bit further down to the south. So you can see the marginal risk. It's a level 1. If you look at our legend at the top here of the screen, a level 1 out of a possible 5 for Macon southward for today. That light green shade that you see just means a general threat for thunderstorms, and we've already had that this morning. And so we're done with that. We're done. Tomorrow, got another system setting up, right? You can see the enhanced risk, that tan shade right here for much of western Tennessee, including Memphis. That is where we have that enhanced risk. And this is going to be shifting for a little bit further over to the east. You notice that we are in at least our northwestern corner, of the state is in the marginal risk for severe weather. Now watch what happens as we move into Sunday. This yellow here, which is a slight risk, starts to move over toward us. Now the storm does weaken somewhat, but that slight risk means that we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms in our area. We'll say from Atlanta northward is where you're going to find that. That will be during the day on Sunday. Right now, the timing for that looks to be a little bit early in the morning going into the afternoon. Here it is, our forecast track model. It times it out beautifully for us. You can see where the rain is sinking a little bit further down to the south. Now we'll have a few isolated showers, possibly around. Our northernmost counties will really begin to clear out as we head to early afternoon. Late, we'll clear it out briefly, but notice through the overnight, the clouds roll right back in. And so in the morning on Saturday, we'll have mostly cloudy skies with a few isolated showers around. If we see any thunderstorms at all on Saturday, I think it'll be fine up here to the far northwest or far northwestern counties. We'll see it clear out once we get to the afternoon, at least from the rain. But then here comes that next line on Sunday morning, moving further into the state. Here we are by 8:45, making its way down toward the metro area. It's along this line here that we can see some of those strong to severe thunderstorms. So that's something that we have to watch out for as that continues to push down to the south. Should begin to clear the area early afternoon. So after 1, 2 o'clock, that sinks a little bit further down to the south, and we'll start to gradually clear it out through the overnight. In fact, I think by Monday, we'll get the sunshine back in here. The temperatures will be a touch cooler, at least behind this front that's moving through. 7-day outlook shows that. We had our thunderstorms around this morning, gave it a 40% chance. Certainly they were there. 6 out of a possible 11 on the whizometer. 80 for a high temperature for tomorrow, or at least around 80 for the high. Showers will be around early in the day. By the afternoon, we'll begin to clear that out. Get the thunderstorms in here early on Sunday. We'll be looking at a couple of thunderstorms possible in our area. That'll clear out by the afternoon, and then we'll get a nice day in on Monday. I think the nicest of the week. May have my logo there. And then the chance for showers comes back to us as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So we'll be watching for that as well. So to recap your weekend, if you got plans for the weekend, you have to be weather ready as well. Here's the weekend forecast. Okay, so again, most of the showers that we have will happen mainly in the morning, and I think it will be more scattered showers than anything else. So not all of us getting wet at the same time, but there will be some scattered showers around, and then we'll begin to dry it up a little bit as we head toward the afternoon. Now I still think we'll have mostly cloudy skies, but we'll see some breaks in those clouds to yield a little sunshine through. Another front comes through the area on Sunday, which will bring us a few more thunderstorms. Again, we're under that slight risk for severe weather. 73 degrees will be the high temperature. In fact, as we head into next week, at the end of next week, got some colder air that will be coming our way. That's the way the models are hinting right now, but we'll talk about that as we get a little closer. Let's go on back out to Joe Ripley, who is down in Heard County, looking at some of the damage around there. Very emotional interview that you had a little earlier, Joe, and folks coming out with neighbors helping neighbors. Man, you had a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing, Chesley. Folks coming from all walks of life, coming from all corners of Franklin here in Heard County, trying to help family out, help one another out, help complete strangers out, because there's a lot of cleanup still left to do, as it just now dawns on folks the extent of the damage done by this twister, by severe storms that tore through overnight. A lot of people saying that they heard what sounded like a howling noise, what sounded like a train noise driving through, and in a flash, in a few seconds, this is what was left behind. You'll hear some of the tools in the background. We hear a drill. We've seen some chainsaws on scene now as folks try to cut down some of these limbs lying in the middle of the road. We've seen a carport, as you can see here. That's what this mangled metal is behind me, just wrapped around this power pole, thrown several yards away due to this severe weather. So folks trying to clean up that damage. We've got a dump truck as well. A woman there in the green shirt who we talked to a little bit earlier on, bringing in some waters for the hardworking folks here, many of whom are still without power. As you can see, lines are down in the middle of the street. We've seen mailboxes, planks of wood with nails sticking out of them. It is a tough time here for a lot of the residents here in Franklin, and this is one of the hardest hit areas, according to the Heard County Fire Chief and EMS Director Steve Worth, who was just telling us it's going to take some time to actually survey, process this damage, and then from there get to cleaning up, get to restoring power. It is all a progression, and it is progressing as of right now, but it'll still take some time to come. What folks are taking out of this, Chesley, is that it's a miracle, somehow miraculous. You've heard the word blessing, but that no one was hurt, no one was injured. When you take a look, you stop and look at all the damage that we're surrounded by. Nobody was hurt. No one was killed, fortunately, and folks are just stunned that they had their lives with them and that they are able to help one another out for those who did lose property or had it destroyed.
It's been one of the themes, Joe, so far. That is very true. That roof that's behind you in the road, do you see where it came from? Can you see the home it came from or the structure it came from?
Yeah, so you see that in the middle of the road and there on the hill as well. Let's show you where that came from. Boise, if you can pan back around to the left. This home here, this brick home that's missing quite a bit of its roof, the planks you see on top of there, those went flying in the middle of the street, and so it's dangerous for cars who try to drive here. You've got loose nails, planks, splintered wood from snapped power poles and trees. It looks rough. It looks like a scene out of a movie or something. One person described it to me as like a bomb went off. They'd never seen destruction like this before along this street. This community hit hard, but they are tight-knit. Chesley, that's the thing. This damage is severe, but they know they've got each other again to lean on and can get through this with the cleanup and then the aftermath beyond that. Yeah, that is some good news, Joe, to see that and to hear that people are still responsive when people need help, especially going through this pandemic that we've been going through, to hear that people are still helping neighbors. That is awesome. That is awesome. One of the good news pieces that have come out of this tragedy as far as this storm. Most of what we've been hearing about has been structural damage, trees that have been toppled over, of course, falling on houses, but for the most part, people have been coming out, as they described, as blessed. Even churches, with all kinds of damage. Jerry showed us that just a little while ago. I want to go back to the forecast again and show you that things are winding down for us, which is good. We had those thunderstorms move through the area this morning in our southernmost counties, and now that is ending. You can see the severe thunderstorm warning. That's over toward South Carolina, near Greenwood. You see where they still have a severe thunderstorm warning there. And so these storms will amp up, but out of our area. Okay, so we don't have to worry about them too much. You can see just south of Edenton right now is where we have numerous lightning strikes. In fact, we go on down there, the southern portions of the county experiencing some very heavy rain still. This is about it for our viewing area as far as the heavy rain and the lightning goes. Once that moves out, it'll be completely out of our area, but we'll still have some areas of light rain down here to the south. You can see over toward Madison, Godfrey, over toward Monticello, some light rain with the mostly cloudy skies there. It's just south of Covington, south of I-20 there. Over toward Spalding County as well. We have some light rain here into parts of Butts County. Here's Spalding County, where Griffin is right there. We do have some light rain there. And then further down to the south, you can see everything's kind of pushing out of the forecast area, which is good news, and nothing back behind that. So that means we'll be drying out. After numerous reports, starting yesterday afternoon, we're finally starting to see where people are getting out and being able to assess some of the damage and clean up. If you're able to do so, and you got damage in your area, especially outside of the Coweta County area down through Heard County, we want to see some of these other areas as well. If you're able to safely take some photos and send them to us, we'd love to see them. We got Liza standing by looking for all that. So we'd love to see some of your photos. But again, the heaviest has been down here to the south. Had that tornado, what appeared to be a very large tornado that the Weather Service placed an emergency tornado warning on, which means catastrophic damage occurring. And so that's what we saw in that path that you see from Franklin down in Heard County up to Newnan or near the Newnan area, and then moved up toward, or at least near Peachtree City. And so we've been watching that. It started at just after 11 o'clock moving into our state, and then ending a little bit after 1 o'clock. A little long track tornado. Now, whether or not it was a little different tornadoes, we'll have to see. But at least on the radar, it appeared to be a very massive, large tornado. And typically in our area, we may get up to an AEF2. Sometimes maybe AEF3. This could have been a little higher than that. And we'll find out. The National Weather Service will go out and assess the damage based on the type of winds they'll have, and they'll give us that report, and we'll report it to you as we get that. But fortunately, even with that,
there wasn't a lot of injuries. We did get one confirmed fatality that was in Coweta County, not in the city of Newnan, but in Coweta County. All right, we're watching that front as it continues to push further down to the south. High pressure is building in, which is good news. Our winds will shift to more westerly, I think, this afternoon. Had the winds out of the south, pumping in that heat, pumping in that moisture as well. We were at one point sitting in the warm sector of the storm, meaning between the warm front and the cold front, and that's where the weather started turning bad for us, all right? The severe weather now shifts a little bit further down to the south. Category 1, or at least a level 1 out of a possible 5 in the central and southern portions of the state. That's why you have that marginal risk there. The light green just means a general threat for thunderstorms, and we'll have it again tomorrow for much of our area. Up here to the far northwest is where you're going to find that level 1 once again, a marginal risk for severe weather. Look at this, an enhanced risk back off to the west of us. That same system is heading in our direction, so by Sunday, the slight risk, which is this yellow area here from Atlanta northward, is where we're going to find a couple of those thunderstorms, maybe on the strong to severe side. What's the timing for those storms coming in? Because I know you got weekend plans. Hopefully you got a little bit more to do than just cleaning up some of the debris that fell around your home. For after you do that, well, that's when we'll start to see that mix of sunny clouds. This way it's going to be for much of the day, or at least much of the weekend. Today, we finally start to clear out a little bit, but then the clouds come right back in through the overnight. So we'll still be stuck in the clouds once again. Any thunderstorms on Saturday, I think, will be mainly up here to the far northwest. The rest of us may see a few isolated showers in the morning. I think they linger at least into the afternoon, becoming a little bit more spotty. And then once we head into Sunday, we're expecting the rain to pick up once again, and a line of showers and thunderstorms roll through the area early. This is by 8:45, making its way down to the north metro area. Will be with us at least through early afternoon. And then things will begin to subside, and I think we'll finally start to clear it out just a little bit as we head into the evening on Sunday, setting us up for a better looking day on Monday. In fact, I think this will be the best day of the week right there. Recapping your weekend, early morning showers Saturday. By the afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, 50% chance for that rain, 80 or at least near 80 for the high temperature. 73 degrees on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a chance for showers, especially in the morning. Could be a couple thunderstorms around, making their way down to the metro area. We'll give it a 70% chance for that. Clearing out on Monday, 64, a little bit cooler as we head into Monday. We'll get the sunshine back at least, warming back up as we head toward the middle of the work week. Looking at 30% chance for the rain on Wednesday. Thursday, that 30% chance continues, but we're down to 62. Christy, back over to you.
Oh, more rain. That's going to make it hard for people to clean up, and we are getting a better look at the damage and the scope of it across the metro. This video, I believe, is out of Coweta County. Look, you can see the splintered trees. Many of the power poles completely snapped in half, and a lot of the lines. We've been talking with spokesmen of the power companies this morning. They say those wires are completely damaged as well, so they have to replace those completely. So this is a pretty labor-intensive job we're talking about this morning. A lot of people, though, let's focus on the priorities, which seems to be what Coweta County is doing, and Heard County too, two counties that are pretty hard hit. They're focusing on their lives. They're focusing on what's important this morning. And right now, we have been able to confirm that one person was killed in Coweta County. We don't know much more. They haven't released very much information. We know that it was within Coweta County, but right now we don't know exactly where, and they have not released that person's identity. But the good thing is that the community is rallying together in both of those, feeding people, creating and making temporary shelter, Chesley. So all in all, a really resilient spirit this morning.
Absolutely, especially in a time like this with this pandemic and a lot of folks feeling anxiety, that kind of thing, to see something great come out of this catastrophic situation really does my heart good. I'm sure it does yours as well.
Some really emotional interviews this morning too. People in tears looking at their homes, but at least, you know, grateful that their families are okay. That seems to be the theme this morning.
Absolutely.
But we have more coverage starting at 11 a.m. over on WXIA, and we will now return to regular programming here on WATL.